Time to put it away since we didn't put that much away. I actually had some for lunch, believe it or not. I'm sure everybody had some for lunch. Those people. I know there are people out there that don't like doing leftovers. But, so I'm going to do a couple things with my turkey. Here I have a little bit of boiling water. So what I'm going for is like a pulled turkey here. Mexican style. Because it's going to be good for, burritos, tacos, tostadas, all the autos and O's. So I've got some minced onion here. I'm just going to eyeball that, throw that in the water for some flavor. Hey y'all, how's it going? Happy long weekend. I got some garlic here. I'm going to throw that in there. And what else? I want some cumin in here. Since we're doing it like Mexican style meat. And have a little cumin. And again, just I'm eyeballing it. And then I'm going to put some chili powder here. I wonder why my phone's not. Hey, Hunter, how's it going? Hey, I'm trying to get ready to, do something with all this leftover turkey. Get it in the freezer. So I'm going to do one like Mexican flavors. It'll be good with tacos, burritos, all that stuff. And I think we're going to have just a soup tonight because it's cold. I think the high today is like 42 or something like that. It froze. I know my stuff has survived. Even the lettuces have survived the last 2 freezes. But we have a couple more days of this. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, I just got some umami powder in again. I love this stuff. I turned my mother-in-law onto it because there's no MSG. It's vegan. It's gluten-free. 0 carbs. And it makes a gravy. Hey from Bangladesh. Hey Shaquille. How are you doing? Hey Marsha, how's it going? What'd you do Thanksgiving, y'all? So here's my, it's hard to see. Here's my, trying to see how you say. That's my Mexican blend of spices. Onion, garlic, cumin, and chili powder. That light's irritating. Anyway, hey, Chris. The captain is in the house. Captain. So I have I didn't expect to get white meat, but I have white meat chunks. And that's what I'm doing with the Mexican flavor turkey that's left over. I may put some dark meat in there too, because I have a lot of chunks of this. So that'll be good for some burritos or enchiladas or something. I also have a big pile of water here because I'm going to make a broth. I know it's late, but we had a late, yes, just foul. That is kind of true. I mean, technically, like ones that have both ovaries and uterus, but they could have some other parts, I guess it's possible. I don't think it's been done. Like, totally. I don't know. Anyway, here's our meat in our sauce. And that's going to kind of like break down and get happy and flavorful. Now, the gross part is I need a little bit more meat than that, so I've got to strip it off these bones here. Kind of clean the meat. I'm charging my phone at the same time. That's no flavor. The season is onion, garlic, cumin, chili powder. Now, I don't put hot sauce or anything in that now. I do that at the table when we eat. I also have some Mexican oregano. So what's your flavor? What flavors would you put in here? Tell me. Tell me, tell me. What would you do? I'm cleaning the meat off the bone. This is leftovers. So it's time to preserve our meat so it doesn't have bacteria. You know, you don't want to keep turkey in the fridge for, 2 weeks. I know, right, Marcia? Onion and garlic are a staple in my house. Like, pretty much mandatory. Now, what we did today, Italian seasoning in Mexican food. Okay. Are you from South America? Because it may be a thing down there. Because South America has both like Uruguay and some of those countries, Argentina, they have a heavy Italian influence in their cooking. In fact, in some countries like Uruguay and Argentina, they have the 30th of the month, they actually serve gnocchi, so as a tradition. So here's a bone going into my other pot. I have 2 pots going. I have one that will be for Mexican fare, and one that's going to be soup. Supa. Hi, Andre. How's it going? Hi to Yana. Hi, Yana. I've got a turkey wing here. I'm just going to break the bones because, all that flavor breaks down into the soup a little bit better. Like I said, try and stick with me. Now I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, well, it was Mexico at one time. And then once the U.S. took it over, then people who owned land there were kind of somewhat able to stay. So, more bones going into our water pot. I think I have enough meat in the Mexican seasoned. Hey Sharon, good to see you. How was your holiday? More bones, dem bones, dem bones. Oh, so what we had it was my breakfast actually. I did a short on this. It'll be coming out much later. But I made some really good stone ground grits with cheese and jalapeno in it. And I did collard greens with smoked turkey in it. Regular collard greens, smoked turkey. And then I added some of this turkey on top of that. I called it a Southern Sunday. What is it that's going to happen with Ukraine? It's not a problem when use does it, but when other... I'm not sure what that is. Oh, U.S. does it. Okay. I didn't see the capitalization there. Well, I mean, that was a long time ago, too. We were doing other crappy things then. Like, the Puritans and all those Christians taking over Indian territory and moving them out west during the Trail of Tears. There was that. So, more turkey going into the pot here for soup. I'm just getting it in there now. Don't worry, psych. We're going to season that broth in a minute. I actually still have turkey broth from last year. I think it's a summer broth though, because I'll cook a turkey in the middle of the summer because the meat's cheap and it's good. Oh, a butterball turkey. This was a spatchcock turkey, where you cut it down the backbone, you fold it open, and then everything, the heat sears on all the juices and it cooks faster. So that's how this one was cooked. I don't know if it was a butterball or not. Southern Sunday, right? Turkey bone for broth. Oh yeah, I think I have 3 bags of broth in the freezer still. Oh no, I don't use an air fryer. I don't fry a lot of food, number one. Number two, I'm not big on the gadgets. I was saying yesterday I went live cooking, and I didn't even get a food processor until I was in my 40s. And I think it was to make basil or pesto or something, because I'd started growing pesto in my garden. So, yeah. But no, I don't do an air fryer. I have a convection oven, but right now my oven busted in the middle of cooking Thanksgiving stuff. I got it all done though. I made do. I turned the broiler on at 400. I'd let it heat up, and then I'd come back a little bit later and turn it on again, let it heat up. Now my broiler works, so that saved me too, because I had jalapenos stuffed with seasoned cream cheese and bacon wrapped around it. And then I also had some keto sausage balls going as a hostess gift. And so I was able to get those done. And I had a spaghetti squash that I was cooking, and more bone. Spaghetti squash I was cooking, and I ended up cooking that, like turning the oven on, turning it back off, you know. So I'm going in here with all that gelatin, the skin, all the good stuff. Now we have an empty dish. Yay. Let me wash my hands real well, and then we'll start seasoning that pot of turkey for soup. We're going to be eating a really late dinner tonight. Really late. But I think we were sent home with all the leftovers, pretty much. It was a ridiculous amount of food we had. I didn't even take that much. Alright, so here's the turkey in here. I'm going to need to add some more water to this one. Almost cooked down before I finish. I'm going to put a lid on that, but I want to stir it first to get some of that seasoning in there. So again, this is going to be good for tacos, burritos, tostadas. We eat a lot of tostadas in this house. Let me try and set you up a little bit better. Like I said, I'm trying to charge at the same time. So, that ain't gonna work. Let me just take it off charger. How's that? And then, sorry, let me get my tripod a little bit better here. Alright, let's go back to this one. So I'm going to just give it a stir to kind of, oh, see, look at all that flavor going in there. And just so you know, Psych, I don't know your background, but if you're using oregano, you're using Mexican oregano. Normally it goes in at the end of your cooking period, not at the beginning. Traditionally. Because you know, you want to put it in your hand and you want to and then drop your Mexican oregano. So that's how we do it. That's how we do it. And Mr. Psych, if you're still, hey Addie, how's it going? Happy day after. So Psych, if you're still here, this is my seasoning cabinet. I have some chilies. I have guajillo, anchos all dried. I have dried lavender. I have carnitas seasoning. I have dried limes. I have sazon. I have turmeric. I have chickpea flour. I have za'atar for Middle Eastern, bay leaves, curry leaves. I have, what is this one? Oh, yeah, more za'atar, which I love. I have some pasilla chilies, Old Bay. They're my ancho chilies. Sweet paprikas. I have some African Bibiri spice here. I have saffron, real saffron, cayenne, other stuff back there that I don't want to take out. I have Jamaican allspice. I have homemade vanilla extract, umami powder, awesome stuff. I have lemongrass. I have sweet paprika. I have smoked paprika. I have, here's my Spanish saffron, the good stuff. I have cardamom, sesame seeds, red curry, chives, basil, caraway, dillweed. What is in here? Oh, garam masala that I made myself. I have chaat masala. I have tahine. I have Kashmiri chili powder, herbs de Provence. I have souvlaki. I have dried mango. So I have some pho bouillon. So yeah, Psych, do I have enough? Do I have enough of flavor in my cabinet here? I hope you feel better. Homemade pork rub. This is more garam masala. So yeah, I got the masalas. I also have Ajuan seeds. I have fenugreek. I have, those are all in the back. Black mustard seeds. Lemon pepper seasoning. Cumin. Onion. All the stuff. All the stuff. I hope you sleep better at night, dear. So, your J is sticking. I hate when my J sticks. Yeah. Well, that's because I cook every frickin' cuisine. I just got some leg of lamb that I cut up. I got a short on that too. I think I put that one out. I can't keep up with my stuff anymore. But I just got a leg of lamb. I don't know. I always make Mediterranean stuff with that. So I'll probably, and this breaks down better when you cover it. So we're doing Mexican spiced turkey to freeze for tacos, tostadas, burritos. And then I've got a pot for soup or tetrazzini. I may, you know what I may do is kind of do a basic broth here. And then set some aside because I know I'll have more meat than what I need. And I think I'll probably put some juice and meat aside for tetrazzini or something crazy. But Yeah, that's the thing. I have a lot of spices. It's crazy because I will cook Indian. I will because it's so much. It's so expensive to go out and eat, and I like all those foods. For me, going out to eat is like I don't know. There's some things I won't make, don't make. Like I don't mind like making like a Beijing style dish because it usually has a couple ingredients. But when you go into the American Chinese food and they have like 10 million ingredients in it that you got to chop and prep, I just soon go to the Chinese restaurant. But some kind of mom and pop, not Panda Express or something. But that's my preference. Okay, to this broth, I'm going to add some black peppercorns whole. I like a lot, so I'm going to put a few in there. I'm going to put like, I don't know, 5 peppercorns in there. I'm going to put a bay leaf in there. Now the bay leaves, I use my bay leaves for, I use bay leaves mainly for Filipino food. When I make chicken or pork adobo. There's some bay leaves in there. I should get a tree. Bay trees, shrubs, whatever, they actually grow down here very well. So I should do that. So I'm just going to start with a basic kind of thing here. Get some carrot in there, celery, and onion. Mainly just to flavor the stock. You know, typical stock base. So here goes that onion. Just splash back on me. I don't have much carrot. Darn it. I may have one out in the garden. But I'm going to go conservative on the carrot. Because I want a carrot for my soup. I don't want to buy any more carrots right now. So I'm going to wash these and I'm going to grate them. The little stub that it is. So, let's see. So I'm really upset, y'all. I'm upset because, you know, I had that interview with Hypertech. And we were supposed to do it like we did with Bimbo's Memorial. It was supposed to broadcast on my channel and his channel. And I was afraid to schedule it, but Faye's always on me to schedule my stuff. So I scheduled it, and then somehow it didn't go to Hypertech's channel. But Mark says you can download it and then just put it on the channel, and as long as the person doesn't put a copyright claim on it, you're good. So I may try that. Always take it out before serving. It does not taste good. Right? So I was saying on my live yesterday, we had a thing in our family. Whenever my mom made chili, she put bay leaf in it. And whoever got the bay leaf had to do the dishes. Well, guess who that was? Every frickin' time. Wonder how that happened. Hey, Angela. So, you know, you got to do something with this leftover turkey. So I'm making, in this pot, I have some Mexican seasoned water. It's breaking down the turkey so I can make a pulled turkey for tacos or burrito or tostadas. We do a lot of tostadas because they're not too fatty. They're not too salty. They are um, not terribly high in carbs, and they're just good, and they're already cooked, so all you have to do is put the stuff on there. The only thing is I didn't have a lot of carrots, and so I'm not putting too many carrots in my broth. I want to conserve that I have one carrot that I can put in here once it's done. But I'm just making the turkey broth right now. And then I think what I'm going to do, though, I was saying earlier, Angela, is I'm going to take some, because there's going to be more turkey than I need for soup. So I think what I'm going to do is conserve some of the turkey and broth for, I don't know, either another soup or I don't know, tetrazzini or something. I don't know. So this is my little scant little carrots that are going in. And I've got some celery I need to use anyway. So I'm going to put some celery in. Oh, so y'all, Spartan Dan got 1,000 subs finally. So woohoo to him. He's been at it 4 years. 4 years. Craziness, craziness. He just spent a bunch of money on new costumes, so I think that put him over the edge. All of his new characters that he comes up with. Holy cow, he's a hoot. So I'm going in with celery here. I'm going to get some leaves too in a minute. So this will be a well-seasoned broth. So we were talking about Chinese food earlier. There's a Chinese dish from Beijing, and it's basically so easy to make. I like to put ginger in mine, but this is traditional Chinese dish, and all it is, basically, here's my celery leaves going in. So I have black pepper, onion, bay leaf, carrot, celery, and the turkey in here, all to get happy. And so this Beijing dish, you basically shred pork or chicken. You put just enough soy sauce to kind of wet it. You don't want it swimming or soaking in it. And then you put black pepper or white pepper, whatever you want. And then it's basically just sliced celery, including the leaves and the tops. And you just stir fry that. So you let you cut your pork and everything, season that, then you go on to cut your celery. I like shredding a little bit of ginger in there. But it is a quick, easy dish, and you end up with liquid, and you put that over rice. It is so good if you like celery. If you like celery. Yeah, he's been working hard for a long time on getting his content up. I couldn't imagine 4 years. This has been a crazy I've only really been going hard at this for about 1.5 years now. But so I feel really blessed to have subscribers I have, but let me tell you, getting those watch hours in, that's a whole nother story. That's why I'm starting to go live. Because I guess that's what you do to get your watch hours up. I just don't care for the lives where they're just basically showing other people's content, or it's not even live. So I know a lot of people are doing cooking stuff that isn't even live. You can't even see the whole process. So that's irritating, but unintended consequences that YouTube has created. So you end up with a lot of crappy content just trying to get the hours in. Ooh, I found another piece of onion. Okay, I'm going to save that for my soup. My soup. So Angela, we used some of our turkey today. I've got a short coming out on it. I should put it out tomorrow or today. Maybe I'll put it out later tonight. So I made a short because today I made stone ground cheese grits with jalapeno in it. And then we topped it, I called it a Southern Sunday. And I topped that with collard greens, and that had smoked turkey in it. And then we added some pulled turkey into that. So it was really good. It was a really good lunch. Well, it was breakfast lunch for me. All right. I just got to keep watching this because the liquid, the turkey is starting to get real tender and start to fall apart now easily. So it is just shredding. So actually, I don't think I'm going to do too much more to it. Other than stir it, put a lid on it, let it cool. So I'm going to cook all the moisture out. Oh yeah. It is just shredding right up now. Except I think it could maybe use a little bit more seasoning. I don't know. So I guess we lost our friend Syke. I think I chased him out when he saw my... Hey, Renee, how's it going, girl? I think I chased Syke out when he saw my spice cabinet. Oh, that's okay, Renee. You at the hospital today? Ugh. I know you've had a lot more energy lately. I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. So anyone listening in and you need extra money for the holiday season, go donate some plasma. Plasma is important for a lot of people. Cancer survivors, people going through cancer treatment, babies a lot of times need it, different diseases, different reasons people need plasma. So you can earn good money. And if you live in a major city, you're going to have several places to donate to. So my recommendation is they all don't pay the same. So you can kind of shop around and get the best deal for your plasma sales. And then also well, you don't get paid for blood, but blood's always needed. I think, what was it, last month or earlier this month, they were giving away $10 gift certificate, and they email them to you, so that's kind of instant. And then I think you were entered in a chance to win $7,000. And they make it so easy to donate blood. Ridiculously easy. Because you can go look online, make an appointment, and donate anywhere near your office or home or any of that. So I looked at my turkey over here, and it did look lame. So I'm adding a little bit extra seasoning. Cumin, chili, onion, garlic. Dun, dun, dun. And I don't. If I'm going to put Mexican oregano, it'll be in when I go to prepare it, because this is going in the freezer for later use. Oh, it's dry. It's really dry, y'all. I'm going to add some more moisture to it. Moist. Moist, moist, moist turkey. So Mark Kropka did funeral for a friend and on our bimbo a couple days ago. That was he did a beautiful job on that. It was so lovely. So lovely. Today I've been working on, well, last night I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning. I should say this morning I was up working till 3 o'clock in the morning on some of my back-end YouTube stuff, seeing if that'll help me get more watch hours. And then today I was editing, working on YouTube before doing this. And I've been editing some stuff for Johnny. And it's stuff about, I got him to tell some stories and I videotaped it, stuff from his childhood. And so, I did it in one long video, but then I just edited that for Johnny to have as a keepsake. And then I had a lot of stuff of Bimbo, like Bimbo drew these cartoons. I think you've heard her talk about Faucet Man. So she had this binder of goofy, like things she drew. It was kind of a mix. It had some pictures of her and Santa and Al and her and Santa and Misfit. Had a Christmas card that she drew. She's shown that on YouTube. But the Faucet Man, I don't know how I'm going to do that because I scanned the page. So I don't know if I'm going to do screenshots of one strip of the cartoon because I think most of the cartoon blocks were one page, 2 cartoons. And I kind of just scanned it, but I think I might just do a screenshot of the cartoon, edit it down into its minimal thing, and then I can do that with each line and then make a movie of that. I don't know. I don't know. Is Eddie in here? Hey, Eddie, how's it going? What are you doing? Is Columbia getting all geared up for Christmas? Are they starting to put out all the lights and displays and everything? Oh, yeah. Faucet Man is kind of crazy. The only thing is, too, like, there's some not PG stuff, NSFW stuff. I don't know. I'll have to look at it again. I know there were some cuss words and stuff, but I may have to blur those out. But I can do that better. Like I can put a text over it because I'm not the editing genius. But I think I could put, if I'm doing a still shot of it and then editing it down to, just that thing, then since it's a still shot, I can put just a letter or something over it to obscure, the middle letters of the word. So I think I can do that. And I think that's how it's going to have to work, just because of my poor editing skills. Which is crazy because I have access to Adobe Premiere, but I like doing stuff on my phone. Like, Eddie, how do you like doing the minimal editing now? Right? Because I know Eddie's been doing videos that he doesn't edit so much. He just talks and uploads, which I kind of like. I kind of like those, Eddie. So, I don't know. What's your opinion on thumbnails? Like, I did a couple and it just seemed kind of weird and cheesy. And then I also try to keep in my mind, like, people with, who might have, be on the spectrum or have some ADHD or something like that. That glare is so weird from that light. But I don't know. I've always wanted to know, like, how do people with ADHD, or if they're on the spectrum, um, how they feel about like a lot of editing and jump cuts, and you know, when I tell lies or misinformation, I do go in and edit that. Like I think I said, Florida was the largest beef producer. It used to be. It isn't anymore. Um, but I go in and fix that with text. But I don't know. Yeah, right, Eddie. I think a lot of people don't like the crazy thumbnails because it's kind of like, it's almost like quick clickbait or whatever. So, hey, Douglas, Mary Jane Fire. Yeah, wish we had Mary Jane Fire sometimes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, we do have a lot of stuff coming up for Christmas. Definitely. Yeah, well, pretty soon that'll pass, Eddie. It'll be like a sure thing, and you don't have to do with the day to day, hopefully. Yeah. And I think minimal editing is better too, in my opinion. And when people have so many like B rolls and jump cuts and stuff, I mean, it's nice, but I'm not trying to like win any film awards here. I'm just trying to connect with people, help people, that kind of thing. Yeah, see, that's what I thought, Renee. I don't, I know one person with autism, but um, anything else I've learned through YouTube. Like fathering autism really helped me learn a lot of the basics. Um, and then, yeah, I don't know. I try to be sympathetic to accessibility issues and stuff when I travel, you know, because if I want someone else to kind of enjoy it, I don't want to like gloss over the fact that you can't get around here very well, or this hotel may be difficult to navigate. Like Chris was wondering, we went to a nursing home the other day, and Chris was wondering why the hallways were so wide. And I said, people going to and from the dining area in wheelchairs can be quite chaotic. And stretchers coming in and out of the facility, they need a lot of wide berth. And you're probably going to have people in wheelchairs and paramedics. It can get crazy. So, yeah, they need really wide hallways. Yeah, no extras. I agree. Hey, Simple Life, how are you? I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I do, I do, I do. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, I send the grandkids bags anyway. They get Amazon bags for their stuff. So I just ordered 3 gifts, and that's all I'm doing for Christmas, gift wise. One was a birthday gift, and 2 Christmas gifts. And then that's it. Oh, we had a great Thanksgiving. Now I'm just trying to do something with the leftover turkey. Get it out of my refrigerator. Hmm. Angela, do you ever go in the back end and do anything? Like I know Eddie does the cards. I'm terrible about that. And that's what I was working on yesterday, were the end cards. Because I can do almost everything on my phone. Oh, and then the other thing, like food and cooking, why don't they have a food category on YouTube? It really bothers me. You put it under people and blogs because you're the person doing the cooking, but it makes no sense. But if they could, yeah, so the cards, Angela, those are the ones that pop up at the end of the video to tempt you to click on the next video. If you get a viewer who's never been to your channel before, or maybe someone, oh, like Q, I had a short the other day, and thank goodness I almost didn't put that little map of the Bennett house out. I know, right? I mean, restaurants, gardening, cooking, there are a lot of content that just revolve around food. Just irritating. Um, and I've put that in surveys. I do participate in the YouTube surveys. And this is the other thing I did was I'm forever, because YouTube wants to feel like they're all inclusive to everyone, and they're not because, okay, Angela, our friend CB Kitchen in Pakistan, right? She does everything from her phone. Well, she doesn't have the advantage to go in and do the end card. She doesn't have the advantage to go in because I tried to say to her if she has access to a laptop, she can go there in there and change her settings and do closed caption. And so whenever she speaks, it will automatically translate it into English if I turn on my closed captions. But she doesn't have access or the money for a laptop, so they do everything on their phone. So she has a disadvantage of not having access to a laptop. And so people that are less fortunate and everything and can't have all the equipment, they're at a huge disadvantage. Yeah, right? Uh, I don't know, Hunter. I think you have to go back in after the fact and do that. But you know what, Angela? I did close captions, but I didn't have anything but I think English selected. I thought that, hey, Chris, how's it going? Good. How was Thanksgiving for you and Debbie? Yeah, we miss you too, Chris. I'm going to do some more lives coming January, February. We'll start doing games again because it's too darn cold to go out and do anything else. And we'll be trapped until it's time to garden. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so for closed captions, oh no, Angela. I know, Chris and I were just talking about that. I'm like, we are not taking 2 laptops on vacation. It's one or the other. So if you go into closed caption, I thought if you put English and people selected whatever their language was, it would automatically translate. But no, you have to go in and select languages that you want it to translate. So what I did, I went into my analytics and I did, I searched for, people in what country they were watching me from, right? Right, Eddie. Everybody over there. And those are huge populations that don't get equal access to all things YouTube, which is really, yeah, you're right, really sad. So, yeah, I have to go in, you have to go in and say for Pakistan, you want to check Urdu, India, you want to check Hindi. Yeah, you have to go in and check the languages. It's in captions, actually. Let's see. I'll take you in there because I almost went live last night showing like what YouTubers have to do behind the scenes that isn't just like, oh, everything from your phone. So maybe this will help other people. Let's see. Maybe I can do it the reverse. All right. Here's my account. Oh. Let me see if I can get this to sit a decent way. So I go into customize channel. Oh no, not there. Not there. Oh, but I will show you something real quick here. And somebody brought this up the other day and I had not updated it. So, Add language, add pronoun. Oh, community. No. I'll have to find it later. Oh, home tab. So here on the home tab, you can select to show your channel home tab and highlight and showcase content. I have that on, but also on my layout, I have to where this is what they'll see on my home channel, my shorts, my videos, playlist, live now. I selected that one, and that allows you, when you go live, to have it broadcast on YouTube and also pop up my past live streams. I think you can add sections here. But what I want to do is, where is it? I want to go. I need to change my banner and stuff. Add language, URL. Oh, maybe it's under settings. Oh, here we go. Settings, community. And so here's my moderators here. So let me go back. So you watch this. So I'm on my channel, and you go down here to settings down here. Once you go to settings down there, you can do your currencies and stuff. But under community, I think it is, you want to go down here. Oh. Is it here? No. No. Oh, here it is. So it's under channel here. And you want to update your keywords, because I hadn't had, like I added farm to table. I started doing hotel reviews, so I added those. I had some of these, like art, cooking, food, comedy, the car stuff. But then I went in and added like senior living and budget meals, restaurant reviews, tourist attractions, Marriott review, cities I've been to. Like now I'm doing cruises, so I'm cruise, you know. So anyway, it's good to go in and update that. Hey, Camilla, good to see you, darling. So we're just going over some YouTube stuff. Now I'm going to go and show you where that, where the thing is for the closed caption. So here under, I'll edit. Is it going to let me? Is it going to pop up again? I don't know what I just changed, but I need to go back. So I'm going to go here and edit. Okay, I don't know what I just did. Let me get out of here. Leave. Let me come back. Manage videos. So I'm going to go to manage videos here. I'm going to edit here. And so this is where you do your end screens. So the end screens, I'll go over that first. Your end screens are when you get those little pop-ups at the end. Now, once you do one, it'll pop up like that every time. So, and then you click here and you can select what you want it to be. I could change it from best for viewer to choose a specific video. Like if I do a part 1, I want to put in a part 2, I can choose that video by just clicking here and then selecting the video that I want to put there. And you can do a search here. That's the other thing. I wish they had a search for every function, but they don't when you're looking for your videos on your phone. So I'll leave that best for viewing, and we were doing yard work, so I'm going to put my gardening playlist here. And this is my icon, and so, and then down here, so I think when you initially start and you don't have a template, it will show all of this over here like this. But what that means is that is running the entire length of your video and covering up your video. So I just drag this and drop it all the way to the end. And then that's the last 5 seconds pretty much of the video. So those are your end cards and how those work. And that's how I set them up. Now you can have different configurations here. If I wanted to, I could select this. I could add an element. I can add another video or playlist or channel or a link. But I could add another playlist here and then move it over. Like that. I'm sorry. It's so hard with the screen like this. So let me do that again. I'm going to delete that. Delete. So you go over here, you add an element. Say I want to add a playlist. I come over here and select, let's do a travel one because it's over here where we'll see. So what it did, it put it right on top. And you see what it did here? It has that new one playing all throughout the video here. So what you want to do is bring that all the way to the last 5 seconds and move this off of here. So then you'll have a travel playlist, gardening playlist, and video that YouTube algorithm decides is best for that viewer. Hey, the gang's all here. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Happy non-Thanksgiving to you. All right, so I'm going to delete that out of here because I'm going to keep my screen a little bit clean. I'm going to save that. This one, for some reason, on that, the end cards, you have to save that every time. Now, the end screen, or the card is one of these thingies right here that they can click on. But I don't like those because you don't want them leaving your video before it ends. With the end cards, they're less likely to do that. But the same here, if you're going to use one of these things, you know, when people say, oh, I have the other video up here. And again, you have the option of changing that from, oh, sorry. Let me X out of that. You have the option of changing this from gardening to, say, something else. You can put a different card up, a video, a playlist. So when they say, oh, look up here and you'll find the video link up above, that's what a card is. But that's just a single, like the little strip. It's not the blocks at the end of the video. And again, they bring it all the way here. So you want to bring that, same thing, you want to bring that all the way. Well, it's right here is where they put it. And you can move it wherever. So if you say here at this point, check the link above and it'll take you to, you know, whatever video that I'm referring to. But I don't know. I don't do those. I think I did 1 or 2, but I don't do those anymore. So let's go to the subtitles and look where that goes. Now the subtitles, much like the cards, the end cards, you will get a template. I'm sorry, your end screen. You'll get a template for those. Once you do one, it'll be the same template every time. So even though I'm going into, say, a restaurant review or cooking thing, it's going to bring up that gardening playlist. And I just changed that real quick to a cooking or food related playlist if it's a cooking video or something, or a restaurant video. So here on the subtitles, what you have to do is, now I'm not too sure about this. Now I still have to check all of this, but I gotta think of what I did. I don't go through, I think I have it on auto to automatically kind of pick up on the captions. But right here is where you edit your settings on, it's set to English, but this is where you can come in and, oh, wait, is that it? Cancel. I think I messed up here. Edit video language is, maybe I got it wrong. I thought I came in here. Okay. So this is what I did not do. I think you have to come in and do, like, you can do English. I went somewhere. I'm going to have to look again. I went somewhere and I was able to check box where what languages came in. Oh no, maybe that's under maybe that's back under settings again. Community. No. No. Maybe upload defaults. Oh, here we go. I believe. Oh no. Video language. There was some place I went yesterday. And I did a checkbox. I checked multiple boxes for the languages I wanted. Oh no. Let me find it. This is irritating because I can't remember that. General, US dollar, channel, upload defaults. I don't know. Now I forget where it is. Huh. Oh, subtitles. It was right here. So sorry, y'all. Like I said, I was working yesterday, probably, actually, like, I think 12 in the afternoon till 3 o'clock this morning on all this stuff. So it's a little fuzzy. So this is where you go. Automatic captions. Add a language. And you can come through here and you can select. So Afrikaans is one. Trying to think where most of my people are from. We have Urdu. We have Arabic. I think I have some Azerbaijani. And I'm going to go do American Sign Language. Because, you know, we just had that talk about accessibility stuff. And I missed that one yesterday. I have Danish and I have Dutch viewers. So it blacks it out as you do that. But these are the things that I said, like if you don't have a computer, you're at a huge disadvantage of Filipino, Tagalog. So if you have people from the Philippines, you'll want to grab both of those. I have a new Italian follower. I'll put Russian in. I do have some Russian. So anyway, I need to go through my whole list. I won't bore you. We have Pashto, Persian, Hindi. Up here, there's Hindi, Latin, Hindi, Indian. So there's a lot that goes into the back end of this. It's ridiculous. You should, Addie. You should. Like, it's amazing all the stuff they have on the back end. YouTube looks easy. It isn't. I think, Angela, I must have said YouTube is easy. It is easy on the surface. Like, to just put up a video, very, very easy. Like, I think everybody should do it. I really do. But like all these back end, not everybody has the access. All my Spanish speaking people. So, and here it helps you learn about languages too. Because under the Spanish, you have Latin American Spanish, Mexican Spanish, Spanish, you know, and United States Spanish. But I'm going to tell you, in the United States and Cuba is different than Mexico, which is different than, even though they're all here, they're all going to have their same slang. Eddie knows. They have Colombia's, they have their own slang that didn't get used in other countries. So anyway, this is very time consuming. So, and I think now that I'm looking back, I thought this was, I set this up yesterday. But I think that only does it for one. I've got it here. So if I go back to subtitles, what do I get? Now I have nothing again. Where did I find that? It was under subtitles, wasn't it? Oh, but see here, now it's only showing 2 languages. So I don't know what's up with that. It's frustrating, y'all. It's frustrating. Help me. Channel subtitles. It says channel subtitles. And it only shows 2 languages, even though I just clicked on a bunch of languages. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. I'm going to have to go watch YouTube University on this one because I don't understand. I thought last night when I sat here and did it under my channel, right? And I clicked all those languages for my peoples, then that it would do its thing. But now I went in there today and it's like, okay, it wasn't done. So Eddie, do you use this right? You're right, Eddie. But see, Eddie, I'm just looking at it like today. I did videos at one point putting end cards on up until September 21st, 2022. I have a note, or maybe it was 2023. I'd have to go back and look. Let's look. Dashboard, content. And let's go to the very end where I have like, and these are all just my long videos, not my short videos. Oh, and Hunter, you had asked about descriptions. Like shorts, you have nowhere to put in a description until after it's uploaded. But on videos, you have the opportunity to put in a description before it's uploaded. So I think live is like shorts. You can't do too much until it posts live. Oh, for YouTube, definitely. You can't put in a description. So this is live. It doesn't give me an opportunity to put in a description before I go live. I have to come in post live and do it, which is a pain. And then it's just a lot. It's a lot. So anyway, back to what I was doing. I think I went to, let's go to the end because I think I was working backwards. I found it easier to work backwards than forward. So I'm doing 50 rows at the same time, and I got to go find, oh, maybe it was September 2020. It was 2024. I look at my end screens. Yeah, I had no end screen here. So it had to have been, it had to have been 2023, maybe September 22nd, 2023. Let's see if we have an end card here. Or end screen, and we don't. Let me see if the one before that does. We have end screens here. No. So I don't know what happened to my end screens. I thought I had done up to September. That's what my note says. Because I don't think I had anything September 2022. See, I don't have an end card there either. Oh, wait, that's subtitles. Oh, subtitles again, end screen. I know I put end screens on all these. I'm so irritated. There's an end screen there. There's my thing. And cooking, I'll do like miscellaneous. And save that. Because I had put a lot of work into that, and now it looks like it's gone. We'll see you later, Angela. You take care. Take care. And I'll see you over at CB's Kitchen and Gardening. All right. Enjoy. Thanks for coming by. Good seeing you. Get some rest. Now, if y'all didn't see the spread that Angela had on her table, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. All the food she had. And I know she worked for days. She was videotaping a lot of what she cooked. And she has arthritis, so, but yeah. But it's crazy what you have to jump through on the back end of these. And now I don't know why this subtitles thing is not working. Do you ever work with that, Eddie? I mean, here we are, first world problems, right? I mean, it shows I have two, but then it doesn't show, oops, sorry. It doesn't show me which languages those two languages are. You only allowed two subtitled languages? I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to YouTube University and figure out how the subtitle thing works. Because it's crazy. I'd like for all, my understanding is like for me, when I check my settings on YouTube, I have it that my subtitles should come through in English. And what I was pretty sure of is if I changed my language, let's see, this is my channel. If I go to my YouTube and then go to my settings, and I think I put in that I want English. People and sharing. Let me look. Let me take this down a minute. Contacts. Share. Make sure I don't have any really personal information here. Privacy checkup. Google Fit. But, you know, there's some place on Google where you select your personal information and what language you have. Let's see. Not set. Oh, okay. Here we go. So under personal information, you have a section here where you select your language. So my assumption was that when I do YouTube and things are in English and people set their language to say something else, let's change it. Oh, it added Italian. Let's remove Italian because let's add Spanish. No, let's add Spanish as my preferred language. Let's test out my theory. Oh my goodness. Slovakian, Turkey. Really? We're Spanish here. Let's do Afrikaans. And let's do this one. And then let's go to a YouTube video. Let's watch Spartan Dan walking through. Let's put on closed caption. And that didn't work. See, my thought is that YouTube or Google would be smart enough that if my language is in Afrikaans, that it would translate the English to Afrikaans on the closed caption. Are we not there yet? Subtitles, English. Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's see if we can auto-translate to Afrikaans. No, we get nothing. Can we auto-translate to... Oh, there we go. Auto-translate, Afrikaans. So there we go. I had to pick another button to auto-translate, which is crazy. So now, there you go. Yogi Yogi, Yogi Bear. Okay. So there we go. That's how you can translate if you speak another language. So maybe all the stuff I was clicking in the background doesn't even need to be clicked, which is crazy. And maybe what I'm seeing in, I'm going to have to go back and watch him. Maybe what I was clicking, so that's why I don't understand. I don't understand why they have those other store. Okay, now I'm back to English. And I don't need another language. Automatically add languages on. Well, I don't use Italian, but anyway. So why is that other option under here, subtitles? Why is that even a thing here? If you manage your subtitles through the other. But maybe what it's saying here when it says languages too, maybe it's just English and some other language that somebody's watching it in. I don't know. Very confusing. Right, Addie? And so that's what I was thinking. Why am I have to going in and do all this stuff? It doesn't make sense. Why is that even an option for me to have to click all that stuff? And you saw I sat there and clicked multiple languages and it added them to that board. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Help. Help. Help me, Addie. Very confusing. Very confusing. But anyway, that's where I am. And so, okay, so here, this is how you earn. This is how you know what you have or don't have. There's my watch hours. I have been hovering at 2750 to 2762 for like 3 months now. The month, about the month I took off after Bimbo passed, that really knocked me down. I think I was down to 2500. And that's okay. But it was hard climbing back up to this range. And then I've kind of been like stuck here. So I don't know. I think there's something wonky on the back end of YouTube. So yeah, I'm trying here. I'm trying. Anything I've ever asked YouTube has been a struggle. Like when I wasn't able to comment, Renee wasn't able to comment, I wasn't able to comment, and someone else that we watched, Sandra D, she wasn't able to comment. And the common denominator between the three of us was, well, for Renee, she was in the hospital, so she wasn't using hospital Wi-Fi, she was using mobile data. The other person, the same deal, she was using mobile data. And then um, I had actually had only mobile data on because my Wi-Fi had failed. And so I figured it out, and that it was the mobile data. Once I turn mobile data off, I'm able to comment. Even to this day, a lot of times the comment section won't show up on a video. So, Eddie, I still thumbs up you. That doesn't sound right. But yeah, I thumbs up people, but a lot of times I cannot comment. And then it's like, oh yeah, I have my mobile data on or off or something. I'm expecting an email. Like, that's the other thing. I'll send somebody a text with a photo, and then I'll forget my mobile data isn't on. They'll be like, what are you talking about? And then I have to turn my mobile data on for that photo. Ugh, it's crazy. Yeah, right, Hunter? It's still a thing. And I called T-Mobile about it, and they're like, oh no, we don't do that. We don't have access to shut you out of the network. And I'm like, well, nobody's flagging me. Nobody's flagging the three of us. We all have this one thing in common, and that we were using a lot of mobile data, you know. I know, Addie. I know. Eddie puts, I don't know, Eddie, do you have the option to put how long your videos are, your ads are? Because you used to put a lot of long video ads on, especially when you were in India, but I get it. You had extra expenses at the time. But I always watch all of Eddie's ads. Yeah, generally, Danny the Medic, uh, he puts out a lot of videos. Danny the Medic puts out like two Vegas food videos every day. He does every meal. So, anyway, but that's the craziness that is YouTube. And that's all the back end stuff you have to do because you can't do it on your mobile, which is wrong. It's wrong. I don't understand why end cards and that stuff can't be on the back end on the mobile. Y'all like my thumbnail for this one? I was trying to get the turkey in there and everything. Oh yeah. That's why I told Eddie, like, I don't like, oh, okay, Eddie. Um, yeah, I don't, I told Eddie because he was working hard on a lot of editing. I'm like, look, I don't do thumbnails. Like, I don't, I don't do a lot of editing. I tend to mess up a lot on my intro. You know, my intros are always awkward. They're always like, all right. That's my that's my catchphrase. All right. And then I'll shut the video off and when I come back, all right. So I'm really awkward with that. And then uh so I don't know. I'm not a hey, welcome to the show. This is Jen. It says Easy Street with Jen. So I don't feel like I need to introduce myself. Like, you should see that it's Easy Street with Jen. I'm Jen. I'm not Susan. I'm not Buffy. Yeah, I'm Jen. Yeah. Well, I had a group here at one point, and it was for like business people that worked out of their home, like not Tupperware, not Mary Kay, not that, but real business owners. And it was kind of like a get together of women because, you know, when you work out of your home, you don't socialize very much. And it was a way to get women together to socialize, well, women and men, any home worker, to get together and socialize, get out of the house, be with other adults. um, and I did it like at one, so the women could also then leave and pick up their kids or whatever from school. Um, but, and I was doing that in anticipation of, I had an idea for another channel. And then I was like, I can't, it was a senior citizens kind of focused channel. And I was hoping to meet other professionals that I could interview, promote their business, interview them on YouTube, but also help seniors at the same time. Or give people other business ideas, or anyway. I decided to skip that because I ain't that old. I mean, I'm a senior, but I don't want to just focus on, end of life, the last 20, 30 years. Just didn't want to focus on that. So, um, I ended up doing this instead. But I don't know. It's, so yeah, and I can't see myself doing anything scripted. I've wanted to do more like money management, stuff like that, but I'm just a tightwad. I just don't spend money. Like, I am not going to go out for, Friday. I I grew up poor. So when I got like a decent amount of money, I would just go to the store and like fill up a cart on payday. Oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. And then I'd be broke. you know. But that's the thing about growing up poor is that you have no money management skills because everything's like paycheck to paycheck. So I never got that. And so then I was like, oh, I can buy what I want to buy. But I would still like buy a lot of stuff at the thrift store. I've always been a thrift store buyer. And then, but then I got to the point where when money would get tight, I'd hate myself. So then I would go to the store and I'd be like, I like this, I like this, I like this. And I'd look at everything in the cart and I was like, do you want this or do you need it? And I'd be like, oh, I can get by without it. So I'd just take that cart and leave. I would just leave the cart there and walk out of the store. And after a while, now I don't even go to a store. Like, to find me in a store ever is, like, I'll go to the grocery store if I forgot something and I need it and I got to go pick it up. I'm starting to do a little bit more of that because if you live in the South, there's a store called Publix and they do a BOGO, buy one, get one free. And they do meats a lot of times. They'll do a buy one, get one free on bacon or hot dogs, sausages, sometimes pork tenderloins. Just really good deals. So I'll take advantage of those deals a lot of times. Now I'm starting just within the last couple of months because I just can't. So aggravated with the grocery prices that I'm starting to go in there and just stock up on meats when they're buy one, get one free and whatever they have, right? For the win, $7 jeans, yeah. But that's hard for me. Like, it's hard for big girls to find pants. So I do buy my pants a lot of times. My bras, my underwear, my socks. And that's about it. But everything else, like whatever I had on Thanksgiving, I've had that for years. I got that in a thrift store. Got this in a thrift store. Yeah, you don't see too many Piggly Wigglies anymore. But I love Publix. But so since COVID, I just started ordering from Walmart. You never know what you're going to get, especially in the produce. You might order an eggplant and come get a cucumber because kids don't know vegetables these days. Fast food kids, processed food kids generation, they don't know what real food is. So, but Walmart's great because if anything comes and it's rotten, which they've sent moldy corn, moldy cauliflowers, stuff like that, I just return it right on the app and toss it, you know. Oh, yeah. I love thrift stores. There's one here for years. Everywhere I moved, one would open up. But every Monday they had half price day. So kind of Chris and I, that'd be kind of like an outing, meet at the thrift store and have dinner, save money, have dinner out, celebrate all the savings that we got. But yeah, I have some really good stuff that I've gotten from thrift stores. Yeah, Goodwill just started organizing by size here. I haven't been in a Wegmans in years, years and years. They look fairly clean though. Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm tired, man. I'm just like, the prices of food are ridiculous. And I'm just so fortunate, I feel, to be able to supplement with growing some stuff. I mean, I pretty much feel like I have to grow stuff to supplement, to offset the cost of groceries anymore. You know, unfortunately, the stuff that's cheap is normally pork. But even pork prices, like bacon and stuff, have gone up because a lot of those are processed through Smithfield, and Smithfield is Chinese owned. So, and the beef, that's Brazilian owned. That's J&B Meats, basically, I think, is the processor for a lot of our beef in the States. And the Brazilian company is, the CEOs of that company are actually felons who are wanted. I forget if they're felons wanted in the US or if they're felons wanted in Brazil. Regardless, there are beef processors. Oh yeah. Well, mason jars, I have canning stuff and I do can, but now that I bought a freezer, I'm doing the freezing most of the stuff. And our weather isn't as crazy as what y'all get. So I don't have to worry about power outages too much. So, yeah, Eddie. Yeah. And that's the thing, like Colombia produces a lot of their own stuff year round. They also export a lot. But the US too, we export a lot. So, thanks to farm laborers that come here on visas to work our fields and put food on our table. um, you know, so that was one of the things I was most thankful for is the migrant workers that come here and break their butts. Like, so they make minimum wage out in the fields, and then like apples, those are done by the piece. So it's 900 pounds of apples is $32. So to make $32, you have to pick 900 pounds of apples. That's the piece rate for that. Because gosh, if we were dependent on our own people to do that work, our prices would be through the roof. hmm I'm not trying to be political, I promise. I'm just saying reality. United Farm Workers, if you follow any of the stuff they do, um, it's pretty. Addie, I worked in the cornfields for $1 an hour. Hunter's worked cornfields, I think, too. I don't know how much he made, but I made $1 an hour working in the cornfields, getting cut all day long in the summer. You have to dress head to foot, so your face still gets cut, but the rest of your body doesn't get cut because you're walking through the cornfields like this all day, pulling those tassels on the top. Okay, so this is interesting. Hey, Pendar, good to see you. I have been so busy, Pendar, so I apologize for not coming to your open mic karaoke nights. I haven't even had time to watch stuff. Like, it's tough keeping up with stuff these days. Uh, I had surgery, and so that put me, I feel so far behind just from this surgery. I felt like it pushed me behind. Luckily, I had a lot of videos to put out content during that time. But yeah. trying to keep up. I feel like I've been super stressed since. I know, and I missed Gary's open mic the other night too. Totally missed it. I hit the bed hard. Or is that tonight? I can't even keep up with the days. Is Gary tonight? He's tonight at 11, isn't he? Is it 11? 11 Eastern. I think it's 8 Pacific. Yeah, and you're Pacific time. Yeah, so I always like to see what kind of talent you have on your your karaoke, Pindar. Yeah. Well, I just like to support people I know. It's just so hard. Yesterday I had stuff running on my phone as I was working on my YouTube on my laptop. It was crazy. Uh, well, the silk of the corn is just the silk. What we had to pull with the little tassel comes up and it has the little pollen. You have to pull that off so that the your goal is to cross pollinate so that you end up with a hybrid corn. But you have to manually pull those tassels off so that the corn hybrid that you want pollen, you're pollinating from one corn. So those stalks, that little pollen tassel you allow to come up. And when you pull the tassel off the other rows of corn, that one breed of corn pollinates the silks of the other corn and then develops a whole new hybrid corn. Is more disease resistant and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's why I said you're up there all day long. You're walking through the corn rows, getting your face slashed. And this is summertime, so you're wrapped head to toe, long sleeves, long pants, as much covered as possible up to the neck. And then you go through like this. And your arms. You'd think I'd have better looking arms doing that kind of work when I was younger. Oh no. Oh no. But then, they also have these things. So it's a combine that'll go, but it's almost like a horse race thing. And it has these little, let's pretend this is it. It has these little things that stick out like this, right? And then there are like 4 on each side of the combine. And it's a platform with railing. And then people stand on that platform. And so you're not going up like this to pull, like, and getting your face slashed, but you're up above the corn and you're pulling down. So it gives you a different angle in which to pull. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to get on that because it is, it is so hard getting your face slashed all day and just holding your hands up for hours pulling like that. I'm like, I want to get on I don't even know what they call it. Do you know what they call that, Hunter? No stroking. Yeah, it's kind of like, so I got really good at that. I got those skills. I just didn't get the good arms. But do you know what that's called, Hunter? That thing that you stand on that's on the other side of the combine? Anyway, or tractor or whatever. Anyway, so you're standing over that, and I thought, oh yeah, I want to get on that because I want to get my face slashed. I won't be wearing my arms out like this. Yeah, I can pull stuff faster this way than up above my head. So no, that was a bad idea because at least when you're on the ground and you grab like a tassel that's covered in spider webs and bugs and all that kind of stuff, and you pull it and you squish them all in your hand, like at least there you could stop and wipe them on your pants. But when you're on that machine, that tractor doesn't stop. And so you just got to keep on going. And it doesn't matter how tired you are, you got to keep on keeping on. You have no choice. So I got on that machine once, or that platform once, and I never did that again. Yeah, platform, good word for it. Yeah, very good word. Oh, so here's an interesting fact. I pulled up Department of Corrections, and I was looking for something else because I'm always looking for facts, and I'll read something, I'll be like, let me look that up. So I pulled up a Georgia Department of Corrections thing, and they have foreign-born prisoners list and what country they're from. So I pulled that up, and ironically, they had like Puerto Rico, they had the Marshall Islands, Guam, like these are all American territories. They're not foreign-born. They're different land, but they're not foreign-born. They're U.S. born. Those are U.S. territories. For some reason, they're on the list of foreign-born people. Anyway, it was interesting. There are 9 Venezuelans in all of Georgia Department of Corrections, and there are 113 German-born people in the Department of Corrections. How's that? Interesting fact. So there you go. There you go. So no need to fear the Venezuelan. Fear the Germans. Fear nobody. Give them the benefit of the doubt unless they're crappy to you. People are people. Mm-hmm. Isn't it? I was fascinated. Okay, let's look at the stock. It's looking yummy. Look at that. Look at that. It's smelling good. The whole house smells good. Whole house is smelling good. And here's my dried turkey. I forgot to put the lid on it. I'm going to have to make some enchilada sauce. Oh, well, once we put salsa on this, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. There's my turkey for tacos, burritos, and tostadas. So, yeah, I'm going to guess that probably every Department of Corrections has a list like that. I don't know. I just found it fascinating. I like data like that. Like, have you ever read Freakonomics? One of my favorite books ever. And it's an economics book, but it's economics like you've never experienced it before. And it's not boring. It's so fun. All right. It's a little dry. Tastes like turkey still. But that's okay. It's going to have salsa. It'll be fine. And when it comes out of the freezer, I will, I'll probably put a little moisture in the pan anyway to heat it up. But for now, that means I can freeze it and I don't have to worry about it going bad. So, but Freakonomics, so you can get it in any library. They have a podcast too. I have another of their books I haven't read yet. It's called The Best Time to Rob a Bank. And they have interesting chapters like what do sumo wrestlers and teachers have in common? Now, this book was written, when was this book written? Late 90s? Early 2000s? Oh, Chris has escaped. He may be in bed probably. doing his thing. But I forget when it came out. But it's so it had chapters like what do sumo wrestlers and school teachers have in common? Now, what was interesting about that is that ended up being an interesting thing. So sumo wrestlers, they cheat when in their federation, when as they age and they start losing matches and everything. If you lose so many matches, you're out. You can't fight at all anymore. So what they do is they'll let other sumo wrestlers win just so they can stay in the circuit. It's all a setup. So basically, it was kind of predicted. It's all about data and how to predict things on data. I wish I had time on my hands, Hunter. I've had that book for like forever and I still haven't read it. I've read parts of it and now so it's crazy. That's crazy. So I guess I blipped there for a minute. So yeah, mainly data. So they kind of predicted with the standardized testings in schools, and teachers teachers still are. They are basically, the teachers are graded on their jobs by how well they do in standardized testing, or how well their students do in standardized testing. So in Freakonomics, they had already determined that this gives it sumo wrestlers, like sumo wrestlers, teachers also now have their unintended consequences. And here it was that they have now kind of given the teachers an incentive to cheat, to help their students cheat, just so they can look good and so that the school looks good. And so nationally they blah, 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 all the stuff. And then what happened? The whole Atlanta public school system scandal came about, where they were helping all these teachers, like from the lower levels and up, were encouraging cheating just to look good so they could get more money and blah, 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 blah. Right? So another chapter they had are what do drug dealers and McDonald's have in common? And so that it was the hierarchy of how the company is set up, both in drug dealing and in McDonald's corporation, to keep the working class working and poor and kind of dedicated to working there, and then how all the upper echelon makes all the money. So you have the street drug dealers. They were the ones risking going to jail, getting shot, getting killed, while the higher up you were on the ladder, like the cleaner you were, you didn't have to worry. You were kind of immune to all of that for the most part. So and it was all the poor people that couldn't afford to really take time in jail, or they would cop a plea because they couldn't afford an attorney, or they just didn't understand the system or whatever. So then you end up with, so yeah, they'll just off you with their onions. Yeah, basically both are franchisees. Yeah, it's crazy. But get this. So in doing their study, Chris, I forget their names. It's two guys. I forget their names, escape me. Anyway, so one of the guys, they're at the University of Chicago, economics professor, and then one was undergrad, I think. Chris, the captain, can correct me if I get this wrong. All right, Eddie, give love to all the doggies. I loved seeing them the other morning when you were sitting out back having your coffee. It was so cute. I just want to hold them and love them and have them be on my lap. But anyway, so on the undergrad guy, he was actually able to infiltrate a gang, a drug dealing gang in Chicago. And they actually kept books on all their transactions. And so he actually got access. Levitt and Dubner, thank you. He was actually able to get his hands on the books of the drug dealers to compare like the data and how people were getting paid and all that was going on. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? It's insane to me that they were even keeping books. But that's how well organized these sure, Pendar. I've been all over the place tonight. We went through, creator YouTube back end work that needs to be done to, and inequalities there. And for people that can't afford laptops. And then now we're talking economics and data. And we started preserving turkey, leftover turkey. So, you have a good one, Pendar. I'll see you tonight. Are you doing live tonight too, Pendar? Are you doing karaoke tonight? I posted a karaoke from the cruise ship. I don't think you want me singing on your show. But I don't do karaoke at home in practice. Yeah, Levitt is the professor and Dubner is a writer. Okay. And then the undergrad, though, okay, so it wasn't the writer Dubner who got his hands on the book. It was a grad student, wasn't it? But not Dubner. I forget. Anyway, it's a fascinating book. And like I said, you can get it at any library. A lot of the thrift stores have it too. But anything they've done is just interesting. What were some of the other chapters in there, Chris? Do you remember? I may have to let me see if when to rob bank is in here. No. Okay, I think that book. I may die here. I didn't have much of a charge, and then the way I was cooking, it was hard to keep the charger on. But it says I have 15%. So dun 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 dun. Doo. Doo. Okay. Oh, it was Freakonomics was a New York Times #1 bestseller. That's how good it is. But this is When to Rob a Bank. I'm in the guest room. So I like my guests to be like, holy cow, this woman's crazy. When to rob a bank. That way they stay less time. No. I have company coming next week. I have a lot to do. I have a lot going on. I always have a lot going on. Even though it's so funny, I don't have to leave my house to have a lot going on. But I do, always. Connor, you're a homebody like I am, aren't you? All right. Let's see what we've got here. We are plugged in. Let's see. Oh, 10th anniversary of Freakonomics. And this was published in 2015. So Freakonomics came out in 2005. I don't know. Am I going to get in trouble for doing? What do blogs and bottled water have in common? There you go. What do? Hey, old Humble, what are you doing? We're talking about the book When to Rob a Bank. Did you read Freakonomics? I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and took a break from the distillery for a minute. So I was like, we love Freakonomics, and I've had this book, and I need to read it. You can see I got it really cheap. At $5.98 at the bargain bin. But it's all based on truths based on data. And Freakonomics also touched on abortion and Roe versus Wade and how crime actually dropped after Roe versus Wade because you had a lot less struggling families. And people that wanted kids had kids. And people that could afford to have kids had kids. So crime went down dramatically after that. And it was hard for him to write that chapter, he said, because he and his wife they had been trying to have kids. And so he was, they were in the process of going through IVF therapy to try and get pregnant. And so that was a hard chapter, but he said you can't excuse the data that's there. I mean, data is data. So, and he tried to reconcile in his mind that it was totally another reason for the data to not lead to the Roe versus Wade. I mean, he tried to put that square in a round hole so many times. He just couldn't. So, the conclusion was that Roe versus Wade really cut down on crime. And right now, crime is lower than it's been in a long, long time. But, we'll see what happens over time now. But anyway, contents. Back to contents. So, I don't know why that's not mirrored. Anyway, what do blogs and bottled water have in common? What could that be? One was we were only trying to help. I don't know what that one's about. I like this one. Limberhand the Masturbator and the Perils of Wayne. That has got to be an interesting chapter. Hooray for high gas prices. Contested. How to be scared of the wrong thing. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Bimbo. I think that would have sung to Bimbo. But is it good for the planet? I'm going to think that's going to be the recycling thing, because recycling, I think, is such a scam myself. I mean, I wish it really did have an impact and really worked, but yeah, recycling is generally a scam. Let's see. Hit on 21. When to Rob a Bank, which is, the title of the book. More sex, please. We're economists. Hey, Eddie, we're talking about chapters in the When to Rob a Bank from the writers of Freakonomics. It just, what they do, they really change in how you look at the world and how when you're a jet, the highest praise anyone could ever give. Kaleidoscopia. But it kind of changes your worldview and your perspective on things and the way you analyze certain situations. Because when you look at a good example, a lot of the recurring thing is unintended consequences. So a good example of recent unintended consequences would be the Wells Fargo thing where they got fined a ton of money. Why? Because they're idiots. They had a company incentive that if you signed new accounts, you got a bonus for every account you signed up. So what did they do? They just signed up bogus accounts without people's knowledge. to get their bonuses. You know, well, yeah, but people are going to do that. Unintended consequences of an initiative or an incentive. Just like the, school cheating scandal. That was all unintended consequences because of an initiative that was given by the schools to do well on standardized testing, and you get bonuses and you get more money to your school. So, and here we still are, and we're still doing that stupid thing. So, nobody learned their lesson. Nobody's changed any of that. So, I mean, I'm probably giving Old Humble a topic, something to talk about. I'm guessing, Joe, have you read Freakonomics? I mean, you come across as the guy who would read Freakonomics. If you haven't, I know you'd love it. So, I don't know what happened. Well, it's cold now, so my skin is getting dry. Oh, is that a Levitt Dubner book as well? Because I know they do their podcast and stuff too. I think I've listened to one of their podcasts, but I really don't have time to stand still and listen to podcasts a lot. I barely have time to watch videos. Oh yeah, the PPP loans. Yeah. Well, what got me is that they had, like, there were advertisements on YouTube that were like, oh, you can get, take advantage of a loan that you'll never have to pay back. Just contact us and we'll hook you up. Like, where are those people? Where are those people that were pushing that and incentivizing people to do that? Do y'all remember those ads? I do. I remember those. Right, Old Humble? That gives you time to go have a cocktail or two before you pick the kids up. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that one, Addie. I hadn't heard about that. And I'd heard about the Russians paying the TikTokers, influencers, to say a bunch of stuff that wasn't true and paying them way more money than any other sponsor would ever offer on anything that was legit. Yeah. Gosh, they do. But, Hunter, I always say the wheels of justice move slowly. However, right, they're slow but powerful. But if you were the one on the receiving end of the charges, right, you would want justice to move slowly so you can build your case. Yeah, I talked about that one, Old Humble. That was the first one. What do sumo wrestlers and school teachers have in common? Yeah. Hmm. But yeah, even if you're not a big reader, these are really fast reads too because you get so into them. It's easy to read one of these chapters every night. Hmm. I don't know. The banks are just crap themselves, though. I mean, it really pisses me off about the whole Wells Fargo thing and how they had these people with multiple accounts because, I mean, at the time, I think that could affect your credit. So, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Realtors. I've never, even before that book came out, I've never used a realtor and I bought 3 houses. I've sold one, bought 3. My ex still has the other one. Hmm. Yeah. But even on the first, I think I bought my first house in my 20s and I did not use a realtor. I had to use, it was back then you could still do the corporate, as before Sarbanes-Oxley came along and they had corporate housing. And so it was a corporate house that had sat for like a year and a half. And so I had started using a realtor, but I said, look, I want a 4-bedroom house and I want a house with a pool, like an in-ground pool. And if I could have an acre or close to it, all the better. And what did they send me? These like 3-2 and an HOA and like all this crap. And then they wanted to meet with me so I can ride in their car and be captive and spend a whole day with them on the weekend. No, I'm not going to do that. Like they sent me the list and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is not going to work. I'm just done already with the first realtor within a day or two of me contacting them. So, yeah, I just don't do realtors. But yeah, I had to deal with a corporate realtor on that house, and she was cool. She was very easygoing. I went through a mortgage broker. You never want to go to a bank or say a mortgage company direct. If you go to a broker, they give you the best deal on interest rate, best on. But you basically have people bidding for your loan. So they'll be like, oh, this person has this credit score. And then people will be like, oh, I'll let them, I'll give them a loan at 3.3%. I'll give them a loan at 3.2% or 3.8%. And so you end up having bids kind of for your business. And so I've only used a mortgage broker in the past. So, but a lot of people don't know that. They go to banks or whatever. So it's just kind of financial stuff I feel like I should, you know. Oh, yeah, that's a good deal, Addie. Yeah, that's awesome. So you bought it before it went into official foreclosure? Did somebody block Eddie? What did he say? Oh, I froze for a minute. Sorry, I was talking to Eddie. He couldn't see any chat and he wasn't able to comment. So I said, we talked about this earlier. That you have to turn mobile data off sometimes. That's what I think. I think the mobile companies are messing around with stuff now. So, yeah, I think so too, Old Dumble. So, yeah, that was that house. And the second house I bought just going through a neighborhood, and she had just put it on the market like 2 hours previous. And I met with her, walked through the house. I'm like, I want to buy it. And she was like, do you have a contract? I was like, no, you don't have a contract? She said, no. I'm like, I can get one. So I got a blank contract and we just kind of mimicked it and negotiated what we wanted for like lighting. She wanted to take a light. I'm like, take the light. She said, should I leave the curtains? I'm like, yeah, if you want them, if you don't need them, I'll take them. So we put that in the contract. So we just sat down that same afternoon. I saw it and we did the contract and went to a mortgage broker. You know, they offered us way more money than we were willing to. Well, we did our pre-approval before we went for the house through the mortgage broker, and then they wanted us to buy a house twice as valuable as what we did. We were not going to go into that kind of debt and not have a life. So yeah, that's what we did. But then selling that house, that was a pain because I sold it as a tear down in the neighborhood because it was a very highly sought after neighborhood. And the builder had a realtor he wanted me to work with. Oh my gosh. He landed me in the hospital because I was so stressed out dealing with him. I passed out and got a blood clot in my head because I hit my head so hard here that I ended up with a blood clot in the back. So I was in the hospital. Like I couldn't even get out of bed for days. And then I did a deal with the doctor to go home. So yeah. But that one stressed me out because it was a tear down house and he would put a clause in there like, oh, you had pets, so now you have to have everything exterminated. I'm like, are you tearing it down or are you remodeling it? You know, all this stuff. And then I was taking all the I was actually donating all the flowers to a park because I had 20 years of perennials. So I was donating those to a park and he kept, every time he would change the contract because I was like, no, I'm not exterminating. You got to take that out. So you go, okay, I'll send you a new contract. He'd send me a new contract, but then he wouldn't put that I was getting the plants out of there and I was able to, take whatever bushes, shrubs, trees, flowers, or whatever I wanted out of that house. And it was just, it was way too much. So he was a pain. And then I bought this house for sale by owner. So, yeah. The homeowners I've dealt with were fine. It was the realtor, the only one realtor. Well, first house was a realtor, second was the corporation, the seller's realtor that I had to deal with. And then the second time it was the developer's realtor I had to deal with. At this house, it was, but the second house was seller to buyer, no realtors at all. It was only when I went to sell it that I had to deal with the builder's realtor. Since I was selling as a teardown. So yeah, that was a mess. But on this house, it was seller to buyer, no realtor. So way easier to not deal with idiots. Middlemen. Cut the middlemen. Eddie's back. Yay. So did that work, Eddie? Did you have to turn off mobile data and go to Wi-Fi only? Because I swear mobile companies are throttling data now and just cutting you off. Because even when I wasn't within the my highest bandwidth, I still get nicked. Like it's happening to me now. And I know I haven't used 30 meg of data because I don't leave my house enough to use that kind of data. Mm-hmm. Yep, Addie. Yeah. Now I think I offered I offered the buyer on the first house. I gave them what they asked because it was worth it. I mean, it had just been sitting for a year and a half. So the pool was green. It took me, I think, a month and a half to get the pool clean. And I had to change the sand out and the filter and everything because it was so bad. And then second house, second house, I gave them what they wanted because it was such a desirable neighborhood. And we were like we got her 2 hours after she put the sign out. And the neighbors said that they were going to talk to her that evening and we beat her. We beat them to her. So that's how quickly that house was going to go. And she had remarried. They had another house, So I wasn't going to, and we ended up making double off that house, what we paid for it. And then this house, they had a set price for it. But then as soon as I learned that they had a whole nother acre that they were going to keep, I told them I would pay them full price if they gave me that other land. And they did. So, yeah. So and then, yeah, now, I mean, real estate's gone up like crazy anyway. So I think we've done better on this house than we did on the other one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, you got to have a home inspector. And the other thing is, like, none of our neighbors got their land surveyed before they bought. So then when we, when we surveyed our land, Like they started coming out and saying, oh, well, I thought my land went to here, because we were going to put a pool in and everything. And then I guess she had a brother-in-law who had done some surveying and he had one of the wheels. So he came out and he measured everything. He's like, no, that's all their property, you know. Of course, all of ours was certified and the titles were done and all that stuff. And then we just had another neighbor move in. And I saw him like digging up around my blackberry bushes. And I went in there. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, well, this is my property. I'm like, no, this is not your property. Like, your property ends about here. Like, he was like, what was he, maybe 20 feet over on our property? Yeah. I think he thought that the way that blackberry hedge is, I think, and it kind of lines up with his property. I think he assumed that that's where his property line was. So then, yeah, once he got out, he hasn't taken his stakes down. He got that surveyed, and their stakes are still there, man. He's determined to make sure everybody knows where the property line is. But, we would always mow into other people's yards and kind of over mow. We're over generous, even with all the neighbors around us. We go beyond the property line. And sometimes I'll even mow the strip between the two driveways every now and then, even though it's not my property. Yeah, I can imagine trying to rent. Oh. Okay, Eddie, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that's what I was looking at, old Dumble, because I'm 60. And I was like, even if I was made an offer on this property in this house today, because the other thing is the way our property is, it lines up with another developed subdivision. And the way the road lines up, I think it'd have to cut through. The developer has to have our land. So we're kind of like, got them. If they want to develop like houses on either side of us. So, but I looked at if we were offered even double what we paid right now, we wouldn't be able to live 20 years paying rent anywhere. And I don't want to live in an apartment complex. I don't necessarily want to live in, aging and everything. I don't think I want to live in, I don't know. I liked this house because I see houses around me. So if I'm out in my garden or I'm out in my backyard, I have a heart attack, I die, or I have a heart attack, somebody's more likely to find me or see me. I had looked at some houses that were far away from medical care. They were far away from any other neighbors. And I kind of like the security of people keeping an eye on stuff. I kind of like that. So I have a lot of land, like enough for me, maybe too much because it's a lot to maintain. But I told Chris maybe moving into a place where I can still garden that has a duplex or something, where you have a neighbor next door, we're the nice old couple that can't hear anything. And our landlord likes us because we kind of keep an eye on the younger kids next door. And it's a win-win for everybody. Us, the landlord, I can still garden, one of those kind of situations. Yeah. Although I will say, old Humble, we moved here from a little 1950s cottage. Our master bedroom was a 10 by 12, and we had a half a bath, no shower, just a toilet and a sink. Built in 1954, and it was near what was an Air Force base, and that house, like they didn't have a lot of storage. So it was very hard to clean. And then even if you had, say, our master bedroom, we didn't even use because it was so small. That was our office. There was a bedroom that was a little bit bigger that was in the front, and we used that for our bedroom. But we still, to have a king size bed in there, we ended up buying mid-century modern furniture because it was way smaller. So we have a chest of drawer with 5 drawers, and then we have a small little dresser that has 6 drawers, mid-century modern. But with just those 2 items, and Chris used one closet, and then I used a closet in the other room because they were so small. There was just nowhere to put any dang thing. And it was so tight, it was so difficult to clean. And as I aged, the cleaning became more difficult, trying to get under things and around things and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. And we were talking, old Dumble, about like future travel within the states. And I think what we're going to do is maybe, what did we talk about? I think like a New Mexico, Arizona, California visit with YouTuber friends. Then we were talking about like a Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, maybe. I don't know. And then doing a Michigan, Wisconsin kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. We don't know. But I'm thinking, yeah, just a duplex would be good for me. 2-bedroom duplex. 28 forever. Yeah, well, the way you work your butt off. Yeah. Gosh, talk about memories behind me. So earlier I was talking about sitting at the computer for hours yesterday doing a lot of my back end YouTube stuff that I can't do on my phone. And let me tell you, I was looking through some of that stuff and I'm like, did we do that? I don't remember. What was this video about? Where did we go here? I was like, it was bad. I was like, am I losing it? Am I already hitting like dementia? I don't know. I hope not. I hope not. But yeah, with my eye, right? My eye issue. So I had that major surgery with that macular hole. I've got a 10% chance of getting macular hole again on this eye. So I got to keep going into the doctor every so often. I just got cleared of skin cancer. So I'm now from 6 months to a 1 year every year checkup because I had 3 incidences there. And I told Chris, oh, and I have macular degeneration. I told Chris, I'm like, I've got to see things now. Like, I mean, my dad had macular degeneration, but he passed before any of that came to fruition. But that was one of his biggest fears, is that he was going to lose his sight. And I get it. I get it. So, but I'm like, now I need to see things. I'm lucky I've been to like half of the states. I need the Northeast and kind of like the northern half of the country is where I'm lacking. And then some of the middle states and the western states. But I think I've still hit like half of the states of the US. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to watch somebody interesting, and Hunter's going to laugh. If you want to watch somebody that knows all about RVs and early retirement, watch Sarasota Tim. He has the best damn cup of coffee every morning, no matter where he is. Best damn cup of coffee he's ever been. And he goes to Walmart about 3 times a day. He gets a lot of hate. He did a video, he kind of blew up. He did a video on how to retire at, like, why he's retiring at what, 62 or something, or drawing Social Security at 62. And then he ended up with some really bad eye problem, no insurance because he wasn't old enough to have Medicaid yet, and he wasn't working. So then he tried like a couple jobs and he just hated them. He's struggling. He's struggling. And then now, of course, he has a lot of hate channels because he rose to the top very quickly because of the one channel. So, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's very true, Joe. Very, very true. So, are you going to do trivia nights anytime soon, Joe? I'm going to start mine up back in January, February. And I did, so, I did that simulcast kind of, I don't know what they call it. Then Restream calls it pairing, where we did Bimbo's service and we did, it was streamed on my channel mainly, but I set it up to stream on Mrs. Hopkins and on Mark Kropka's channel. And the I was supposed to have the ability to continue to do that, and I thought I'd set that up with a trying to do it with a what was I going to say? Eddie threw me off. He derailed my train of thought. But yeah, I try to do them in January, February because everybody's homebound and cold and just needs to keep their mind active and going. So that's my January, February thing. I've kind of been doing that every year since COVID. And I like your setup. Oh, so my streaming thing. Blah. So I did an interview with Hypertech this week and I did everything the same way. And we don't know where it went wrong, but for some reason it did not stream on his channel at the same time it streamed on mine. So it's only on my channel. I need to figure out why that happened, how that happened. But if you ever want to do anything like that, I'm willing to do it. If you want to do your own trivia, I'm not going to be offended. But if you ever want to do like stream and we can co-stream a trivia night, and it broadcasts on your channel and mine at the same time. So anybody gets it, but we kind of co-host it, which I like that ability. Restream just got that. I think OBS has had that capability, though it's kind of difficult to. I've never done OBS. It's too much for me. It's more than I need. Too much. Yeah. All right. I have a lot of pre-written, and that's the thing with trivia. I don't want to use any copyright material or somebody coming at me saying, "Oh, you got that from Trivial Pursuit or this trivia book," and try and copyright that crap. So I've written my own kind of like on a topic, and I have a book of them, and I can guarantee you whatever trivia I did last year, nobody's going to remember it. So that's a good thing. I can write some new ones, but like they'll have silly topics like it's raining cats and dogs, and then it's like all about cats and dogs, or I don't know. I have a whole notebook of it. It's not really copywriting the questions, Addie. It's like going through a book of trivia and going through that topic, because a lot of the trivia books will have it by topic, kind of like I write them like, oh, it's cats and dogs trivia or something like that. So then if you're going through their book and using all their trivia questions, then they can come and say, oh, you just used my book and you're earning money now off of something that I wrote. That's my fear, because people are crazy. Anybody can sue anybody for any reason. And they can claim that I copyrighted, but I have to prove that no. Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah. So I kind of prefer to write my own, but the problem with that is I end up going down a rabbit hole. Especially if it's like a dang music trivia. But I like, ugh. Then an hour later, I come back to the next question, even though I had my answer within 5 minutes or less. So, and I try and like, I think uh, Nights on Broadway is another, it's all Broadway questions. So, but that's because for me, like, I don't know pop culture very well. So when I've done YouTube trivia, um, it's kind of hard for me. And I should mix it up more, kind of more like Trivia Pursuit, where there's a little bit of geography, a little bit of music, a little bit of science, because like me, people aren't like skilled at a particular topic. So there may be people that had allergies to cats and dogs that have no clue about any cat and dog thing. So I should take the questions I already have and kind of mix them up. Because I think I have some science questions, animal questions, music questions, Broadway. I think I have some TV, movie stuff. Eh, I hate AI. Chris loves it. He loves it. You have a good evening too, Eddie. I'll be looking forward to your video tomorrow. I love these little videos you've been doing on the bus rides and stuff too. And I like that it's a lot less stressful and less editing. I can imagine. I can imagine doing the editing you did when you were in India. Oh my gosh. Take care, Eddie. Thanks for coming in. Love you. But yeah, I think use what we have because we forget this stuff, Addie. Trivia where you have to pick how I misspelled a word, not how to correctly spell a word, but correctly guess how incorrectly spell a word. Oh my gosh. How about correctly? Incorrectly was spelled incorrectly. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would draw a lot of people because everybody's a grammar police or spelling police. Oh my gosh. Next door is such a riot. Some guy came in and said, please, but it was PLZ. Proofread. Proofread was 2 words. Your post before hitting enter something. He's like, a lot of you sound like second, 2 and D, or no, 2 with the number 2-year-olds. And so like everybody bounced on this dude about everything he posted. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was like something that like a YouTuber or somebody on Twitter would post just to get reaction comments credit. But Old Humble, do y'all see Old Humble's videos? If you don't, check them out because he does the best shorts. And he does the shorts that I thought I'd like to do, but never did them. And they're funny. The one was like, oh, some people think you can, what was it, grab a flying arrow. He was like laughing. No. No. And what was your ISIS mug? That was funny too. It had nothing to do with the video, but that was damn funny. I remember I'd forgotten about the ISIS mug, but then it was good to see it again. Oh yeah. Oh, I bet you get a lot of comments. I bet you get a lot of hate. And then bet you get a lot of both on yours. That's funny. Orthography games. All right, Chris. Now I don't know what orthography is, other than I think it's a bone orthograph. I'm going to be stupid here. Since I'm live, I'm not going to go check it. So explain orthography. Someone, please. And I might do flapdoodle. Did you ever see my flapdoodle, little Dumble? It was an obscure word list. And so the goal was to either know the definition of the obscure word, or you could come up with a funny definition of the word and you could get a point. And everybody would vote on, which definition was funny enough for the funny point. But if you knew the definition and could take the correct definition and make it funny, you could get 2 points. And sometimes Bimbo would insist on, 2 people getting points. So, yeah. Orthography. Thank you. Orthography. Basically spelling and punctuation. Oh, okay. Grammar? Well, I guess grammar is how a sentence is put together. But I sucked at language arts. I did. I hated it. I loved creative writing, but I sucked at language arts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I tell you, man, do you remember, Joe, Addie, any of you, do you remember all your teachers or any of your school teachers? Like the only teachers I remember are some of my elective classes. I remember my music teachers, chorus teachers' names. And I remember, and not all of them, because I know we had one guy come in. I don't remember his name. And I remember all my drafting teachers. And I think my electronics teacher was Mr. Buck. But any of that, like math, English, any of that stuff, oh my gosh. Psychology, like first, second, kindergarten through, I remember my 6th, 7th, 8th, and only the drafting teacher in 9th grade. And then 10th, 11th, 12th, I only remember, drafting or architecture teachers. I do remember my language arts teacher because I did not like her. She made reading suck. And I liked reading up until I took her class. No. No. Holy cow, Joe. That's amazing. Now, I was telling Chris, I should remember my 1st grade teacher. But I went to 2 different schools in 1st grade. But remember, too, I went to 10 high schools. But two different schools in 1st grade. I think I went to 2 different schools in 2nd grade, too. But the 1st grade teacher, I had to go to the bathroom. She would not let me go. I mean, I had to poop. So I went back and sat at my desk, pooped in my pants. Of course, all the kids, had to ridicule me for the rest of the year till we moved. But yeah, and those were the days, those were the 60s. So it was cold. It was Scranton. I was wearing tights, And so by the time I pooped, it was like all diarrhea. TMI. And I was wearing tights. So it was like, permeated. And then, get this, she had nerve to be mad at me because I pooped my pants. Yes. Can you believe that? She wouldn't let me go. And then she got mad at me. I don't know what she expected. Holy cow. I mean, I don't even know what she was teaching at the time. Oh, awful. Oh, and 5th grade. So fifth grade, my mother was a fanatic. So we went to church 4 days, 4 times a week, something like that. So um, my mother really didn't care about schoolwork, homework, any of that stuff. But she had me going to a private school, and I would have to clean the classrooms after class to pay for my tuition. Um, some of it was supplemented by donations, but what wasn't supplemented, I vacuumed classrooms. And so I was working after school, and then after that, by the time my mom went off, then we were off to church and blah 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 blah. And then so then my fifth grade teacher decided he was it became such a problem. And the problem wasn't with school, it was with our, I'm sorry to say, fanatic parents, right? So it got so bad that students weren't doing homework that he would have us line up, not just once a day. He would have us line up outside this was a private school. So he had us line up outside the classroom every day in a line, and we would all get spanked with a paddle for not doing homework. And it would be nothing, like we only had a class of maybe 20, 22. And it'd be nothing for like more than half the class to be lined up to get a spanking. And never talk to our parents. We just line us up, do the deed. But they almost got sued. So he ended up cracking one of my classmates' tailbone. And that ended that. So, yeah. Very nice, Addie. Now, I got by with things in high school. Well, I wasn't a big problem, but when I lived with my dad, I was an AB student because he was on my butt. Um, so I was like president of VICA. I made A's and B's, So I went from an F student living with my mom to an AB student living with my dad. So I absorbed some stuff. Uh, oh my gosh, Addie. Oh no. Oh, Honor. That's awful. They didn't make you eat chalk though, did you? Holy cow. Joe, you have an amazing memory. Life began at college. Yeah, that's Chris. Yeah, I know. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I was a totally different student when I lived with my father. So, but he expected me of it. I mean, he expected that of me. Like being like, I had an hour to get home, maybe less than an hour to get home after the football game on Friday nights. I had to be in by like 11 or midnight, one of the 2 hours. Yeah. But he did give me a dime and said he never wanted me riding with anyone drunk. If we had been out drinking, to give him a call and he would come pick me up, no questions asked. So that was cool. But I just could never stay out too late to get too much like that. Hey, Sam's Gloves. I'm glad you like gloves. There used to be a guy in here who likes satin. Well, not here. He used to be in another friend of ours chat all the time. He likes satin. I don't know what happened to him. But he's always asked us if we were wearing satin. No, we don't wear satin. I don't have gloves. I don't wear gloves either. I think they're elegant, like the long gloves. I used to collect them, but yeah, I don't collect stuff anymore. I'm getting rid of stuff. Yeah, Chris had a Professor Lee. Yeah, I bet. Chris had a music teacher called oh, the rubber gloves. I get it. I get it. Yeah, we don't shame fetishes here, but that's interesting. Chris had a music teacher called Dr. Bass. Yeah, Addie. There was talk about me joining the military, but no, I did not. Yeah, sorry, Sam. I don't have any. I don't have any, and I don't cook with gloves. I'm like Julia Childs, and it all gets cooked generally anyway. So all that bacteria is gone. People are too sensitive. So, yeah, there was talk of me doing the military, but I was one of those kids that did. I was an AB student, but I did terrible on standardized testing. I was that kid. Testing I hated. But so I remember when I took the ASVAB, I didn't then again, I was living with my mother, so I didn't know what any of this testing was for, SAT, any of that. And there was never in my mind an opportunity to be able to go to college. So, all right, Joe, good seeing you. We'll get together. Like, you know how to contact me if you want to call anytime, call. Just, yeah, we can put a trivia together if you want sometime. So, but yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your weekend. Get some rest, dude. You work so hard. You've had a successful year, so celebrate. You've done so well in such a short amount of time since I've known you. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. So I think he's in all 50 states now. Uh, maybe the continuous states. I don't know. He's really expanded, but I think you can find his stuff in almost every state now. So amazing, amazing. So yeah, y'all, if you haven't subscribed to Old Humble, subscribe to Old Humble. He shows you how to bottle, distilling, that type of thing, and he's also does topic discussions. Could be current event, could not be, but it's always interesting when he does a live. So good seeing you, Joe. But yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Sam. I just, I know it started off as a cooking stream, but here we are. And yeah, I know a lot of the cooking streams do wear gloves. So anyway, so I hope you find somebody that suits your needs or suits your fancy, however you like to call it. Yeah, and have a great weekend. So yeah, but I don't know. School is so I did terrible at testing. ASVAB, I think I ranked like administrative, and I didn't even take. This is the thing. I didn't take typing in high school because I never wanted to be anybody's freaking secretary. That was like goal for me. Like drafting, I do drafting all day long. You know, electronics, yeah. Building something, yeah. Construction work, I would do that all day long. But secretary, I never wanted to be somebody's secretary. I never wanted to be stuck in that. So I really sucked. And when I saw ASVAB, they were like, oh, you'd be a good admin. I was like, no, no, I wouldn't. Standardized testing doesn't tell you that I can't type worth a shit. Yeah. I mean, I can type 35 words a minute, but it's weird, it's awkward, and I've had coworkers laugh at me. They're like, "Holy cow, what are you doing?" I'm like, "What? I'm typing." They're like, "It's the way you type and the fact that you can do it so fast." Like, oh gosh. Yeah, but even now, like this is the thing too. I remember applying for a job later in life, and I had my goofy typing skills, and I was used to typing on a laptop. I used a laptop for everything. So then I had to test for this job. And I went in and I was like, oh crap. I didn't even think about it. They had a really full-size keyboard. There was no way I could pass their requirement because it's that different. And I have really tiny hands. Tiny hands. So there's a bottle of water. Here's my hand. Very small. So, yeah. I really sucked at typing. Yeah, I wish had been that settled and tied to a community. I just never was. I was here, there, bring, everywhere. So, and it allowed me to adapt easily to change, make people friends with people wherever I go. But it also, on the other hand, it also kind of set me up to where, like, staying in touch with people long term wasn't a thing I did. So, I think I did hook up with some people, like, as an adult from middle school. But, yeah. They're still mean. They're still assholes. Again, that was a religious school. So, they wanted to debate stupid things. Who could come into the church because, there was somebody that was eating bacon. And they're like, oh, they shouldn't be allowed in the church if they're going to continue to eat bacon because, Leviticus says you shouldn't eat pork. And the guy's like, well, but he's given his life over to Jesus and you give him time and blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, really? Y'all are going to have that debate as an adult? Really? So, I don't know. I just find it stupid. Stupid. And that's why that whole scene wasn't mine. People just can't like people. You got to criticize them and stuff. No. No. So, lithography, ceramic wood shop. Holy cow, Addie. Wow. So so I'm going to guess, were you in an art community? Or kind of like I guess in Tennessee, there are these folk art communities, like basket weaving, ceramic stuff, but like old style. I guess they do textile, things like that too, wool, spinning, weaving, stuff like that. But it's a whole community up there. And then Tennessee's an interesting place. Yeah, the folk art center has all, I think it's called the Campbell Folk Art Center, where you can take all these interesting classes and stuff. I think you live up there. It's kind of like a, I don't know, long-term thing. Yeah, I don't have gloves, Sam. Sorry. But yeah, they had the art center, but interestingly, did you know that a lot of the civil rights training took place in Tennessee? I forget the facility name, but it started out as a kind of a union workers, like workers' rights type place to learn how to stand up for your rights as a worker. And then when the civil rights movement came along, it kind of converted over to a civil rights training ground. And that was all in Tennessee. I think it was maybe near Knoxville. I don't recall. Oh, little city built by railroad. Yeah, interesting. But a lot of times those railroad towns did bring in a lot of the artistic type people and also a lot of snake oil sales. Because back then they had, the snake oil and then they had the water cures and all that crazy stuff going on. And there were still people that weren't educated guessing about celestial events and stuff like that, you know, back in the 1800s. Yeah. Yeah. I would think a lot of the railroad places were kind of liberal, you know. Like there are some places in Appalachia where, you would think you go there now and everything's very, church based, small community, very conservative. But back in the day, I don't know, they were on the rail lines. So they had brothels and the company store and, you know, get your liquor, get your women, get your, uh, get your everything here. Yeah. The railroad era was pretty wild. Pretty wild. You had swindlers too that would, they learned that, oh, well, I can swindle here and then go to this other place, right? And get away from it all and take on a new personality and everything. Oh, you know what show I loved as a kid? The Wild Wild West. Because it had a little bit of all that. I loved it. It was with Conrad and Armitage. What was his name? Oh my gosh. I loved Wild Wild West. That was my favorite. I think, what was the one? Gunsmoke with Miss Kitty and all them? Not so much. But, right, they kind of... We know what Miss Kitty did now, but as kids, when we watched that, we had no clue what Miss Kitty was really doing. You know? I don't even know if they made reference to it too much, what Miss Kitty really did. But certainly wasn't a Puritan at all, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, in the middle of Wild Wild West. Yeah, I never saw the remake. Yeah, Miss Kitty was a madam. Yeah, she was. Yes, she was indeed. But you know what, Addie? I don't even think the people that watched it knew that she was. Like, that's what kills me about this whole, you know, going back to the old ways is that the old ways weren't that great. Like, for anybody. It was nasty. You had cholera. You had diseases. You had all this funky stuff going on. Syphilis, impure water. Speaking of which, I think I got a carrot grate in there. It was really disgusting. Oh, and could you imagine walking around those streets, crossing those streets back in the day in those little towns? And you're having to wear that stupid long dress with the bustle, and you're dragging your dress is getting dragged in horse crap. Ugh, disgusting. I don't know that we want to go back to those days. A lot of people romanticize that stuff, but it was gross. I kind of like where we are. I mean, I feel like I had the best of both worlds where I could get out and play, have a good time, not be monitored, you know, run from one side of Orlando to the other and go to all these towns and be totally unsupervised. And then we have all this great medical technology and electronic technology that we have now. But it's funny, like, Chris and I don't have a TV, but here we are on YouTube, and, we have our laptops and stuff like that, you know, we're not TV people. So, yeah. I cooked my turkey down. Oops. Turkey is cooked. So yeah, I can let that cool now. My turkey is cooked. So what'd you have for Thanksgiving, Addie? Did you have your kids over? Yeah, but that stuff would stick to the bottom of their dresses. Ugh. Ugh. You get splash up and a pound of bacon, no kids. There you go. Living the good life, huh, Addie? Mm-hmm. Living the good life. Because what's bacon? I mean, here I think it's around $10 for a pack of bacon. It's ridiculous. That's why I buy it. It was 2 for $5 or 2 for $7. It was buy one, get one free. Oh my gosh. But all your kids have moved away, haven't they? I was always lucky that Chris's family and my family, we all did everything together. So there was no like splitting families for holidays, and everybody got together and we did everything together. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of freezing. A lot. But the thing is, I cook. This is the hard thing about doing YouTube too, is I cook, right? I cook, I do all these videos, I freeze stuff, right? I got to eat it at some point. But then everybody wants more cooking videos. So then what do I do? You know, oh, good. Good, good, good. Yeah. I know Kimber's was saying she might be alone, but then she said her kids came by and actually spent like 9 hours with her. So that was good. That was good. Ours was kind of quiet. It was just four of us. And hostess cooked the turkey and a couple sides, and then I cooked a bunch of sides. And that was that. It was easy. Except that we got sent home with a lot of sides, a lot of food, and you know, now I have to do something with it. Huh? Can I turn on the dryer? It needs around too. Oh. I don't know if it's too loud. You can turn it on. I'm about to close out anyway. Because I need to do something with this echo. No, oh, yeah, no, with this soup. I'll pause it. Yeah. Or, I don't know. Are you getting hungry? I'm not too hungry just yet. Yeah. I'm not hungry. We had a late lunch. So, yeah, I'm glad you came by, Addie. I really am. Did you see? I think you saw Mark do the funeral for a friend for Bimbo. That was really sweet. He played it beautifully. He really did good. But she didn't like songs that didn't have lyrics. She was one of those. She was a rock and roller through and through. It was hard going to her house. Addie, I have a video I took. I walked into the pink room, not the music room, but her bedroom pink room. And it was just so quiet. And it was so hard. So hard. I took a video of it. I just did a, you know, Kind of just did a round thing, and I can't bring myself to post it. It was terrible. It was terrible. I hated it. It was hard going over there, but we needed to. Johnny needed help with some tech stuff and getting her accounts and access to her accounts and all that stuff. So we helped her. Chris helped her with that. I let her bowling. Johnny's like, oh, yeah, I didn't let her bowling friends know she had passed, or, her friend Patrick. Right? I think it affected everybody more than we imagined. So, anyway, when Chris was helping Johnny, I helped. I went around town and tried to notify people. Because Johnny, it was a mess because that hurricane hit and Johnny lost a lot of stuff. And he ended up losing his housing. So I don't know if he's back in his house, his place yet, but he was renting. And he actually ended up having to live with the landlord for a while they remodeled. Well, they got that done. So hopefully he's back in. Yeah, it was so hard. And then somehow, I guess because she was going through all of her stuff, there was a bill or something that didn't get paid of Al's, and some process server came. I mean, like they sued him. So something happened there weird. I don't know what happened. But then, yeah, so he was having to deal with that, and it was just really, really stressful. And then, of course, Al needing care, but we're trying to work out something because there's still a lot of stuff. Addie, we're thinking it may have been the liver, you know, so like all the toxicology report came back clean. She never did drugs. I think she said she may have done like a shotgun once, but she wasn't one to ever like hit a joint or anything like that. She hated narcotics of any kind. And she'd given up the alcohol. But I think between all the cancers, all the radiation, and the drinking, her liver kind of went to hell. And then, but she was told she had to quit drinking, so she did, like immediately. I don't think it was cancer, but she kept going back to Moffitt. And then, but there was a video I ran across, and it's the one of her coming down. Is a short of her. It was I don't like Mondays. If you go and you look at that video, I think that was the name of it. And she had on like that chevron print. There was different colors, and she was all like nicely dressed for like a business meeting or something. Go look at that video, because she gets off the elevator and she said something, it's difficult to hear. And then she said something about, I couldn't make it out. I played it over and over and over. And I'm like, what did she say there? What was she saying? I could never make it out. And then there was another video where somebody, I don't know if it was A Simple Life or somebody said something. And I don't know what video that was. It was one of her, it was a live, but it wasn't a trivia night or anything. It was like when she do her afternoon stuff. And whoever said, somebody said something, and she kind of looked out, like she was looking out the window. She looked away, and she was just kind of like quiet for a long time, which was so unusual for her, But I know that if she had anything wrong with her, she certainly wouldn't have told me. She wouldn't have told anyone, because she wouldn't want anyone doting on her or feeling sorry for her or any of that stuff. And she would just want to live life to the fullest to the end, which is what she did. Because I was there in June, and the end of June, mid-June, I think the next to last week. And so, but what she did tell me, like the night we were supposed to do Kansas and she called me to cancel, she just said, my stomach hurts. She said, I don't feel well. I can't do it. You guys go on. I'm like, we're not going to go on without you. And she's like, well, my stomach really hurts. And I was like, where? She's like, kind of just in general. She said, I feel like I need protein, because she was getting the teeth work done for so long that she was on soft foods for a long, long time. But now she was eating cottage cheese, but that would have been low fat. But I don't know. She just, but she said, I feel like I need protein. I said, well, do you want me to order some from Amazon and have it sent to you? It'll be there in the morning. She's like, no, no. She's like, I'll get some. She's like, it was great when I went to Moffitt and I could get that stuff cheap. She said, I just feel like I need protein. And I know when my dad was he went through heart failure, then kidney failure, then liver failure, all because of the heart failure. One of the things when it came to when liver failure came, they're like, you're not giving him enough protein. I'm like, you're telling me I got to watch his sodium, so I've got to watch what I feed him. He gets a serving size, which is half of a chicken breast. In his mind, he thinks a serving is a whole chicken breast. It's only half. And so for me to figure out the sodium content, I have to weigh everything out. And then, because he was retaining fluid, like they took 22 liters of fluid off him at one time. And then with the liver failure, they're like, you're not giving him enough protein. I'm like, he eats Kashi cereal every day because it's it's quick and easy. He likes it, and it's low sodium, and it's extremely high in protein. And, so then after she passed, and I was thinking, oh, she was saying she felt like she needed protein, like, so then there again, I think it must have been the liver, and she knew it was. But I told her, I said, like, tomorrow, if you're still feeling badly, go to the ER. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, in fact, I watched that when she got swatted. I was there. Hmm. Well, that's when she quit drinking, like, immediately. She quit drinking immediately, but her toxicology came back clean. Of course. I knew that. They didn't even find alcohol in her system, and I knew that too. She was hardcore about that. She was really hardcore about that. But it was weird because, like, when I was with her, we went out to eat. She didn't like have any, she just didn't say, well, I can't eat that or I can't eat this. Like, she ate regularly, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. But I know when she ate at home, she ate like crap. Like cottage cheese for breakfast, snack here, snack there. She didn't eat well. And then having the teeth work done, ate even worse. So, hey, Camilla, good to see you again. You're in and out. We're just about to wrap up. We were talking about Bimbo. Everybody misses her a lot. This was her favorite time of year. Mark said he's going to try and do something. I think he said something about playing some of her videos at Christmas or something. He's going to do something. So, and then I'm working with Johnny. Hopefully, I'm trying to edit stuff and the Faucet Man and trying to get that to Johnny. And I want Johnny to learn how to put it on YouTube because I don't want that responsibility. But there are binders and binders and binders of stuff. I mean, she in the pink room, she has stacks of binders of stuff she's done, drawings, stuff like that. And then I told Johnny, I said, you know, one thing I'd really like to get my hands on is that faucet man because I was begging her to find a way to put that out on YouTube. And uh, that was in her desk in the music room
Hmm.
because I think that was her pride and joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like like the first time I met her, she had this huge, it was a massive, about as big as a dining room table, like a regular, you know, dining room table. It was a huge piece of paper that she had like designed a whole amusement park and all the rides and everything, labeled them. She had a whole world. It was crazy. Yeah. Hey, Charlie, I'm glad you got out on bail, man. I can't believe they're trying to pin all this on you. I know Clowney did it. I know he did. Yeah. No, I heard he's on the run, gone underground, deep underground. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was weird though. I'm kind of suspect because oh, I'll be there, Charlie. No worries. I will be there. I'm definitely gonna you know, get on the stand and defend you to the death because I know you didn't do it. I'm pretty sure Clowney set you up. Hopefully, I can present some key evidence that can help your case. So, y'all go and follow Charlie Wood to keep updated on the case against him. He got pegged. Well, you got pegged in jail too, didn't you? Oh, that was sad. That was so sad. So, but yeah, Charlie, you know I'm always by your side. I'm always by your side. Oh yeah, yeah. They're gonna railroad you any chance they get. You know, especially Clowney. He's so underhanded. You know, he got sued by the carnival that did the Midwestern tour. That you know, I went all around the Midwest. I could never find him there. So I don't know. I just heard that he's being sued, and there's a civil suit against him from the carnival. I haven't, you know, haven't pulled it up to read the case or anything or what they're claiming, but you know, I went to every single town on his Midwest tour, and I couldn't find him anywhere. None of the carnies they'd heard of him, but they hadn't seen of him, except the corn dog guy that said, "Yeah, come get your free corn dog. Tell him Clooney sent you." That guy had no clue who Clowney was, you know. So, yeah. And, you know, the liquor store's after him too. AB Sleaze. Yeah, they're looking for him. It has nothing to do with me. I know he calls me Sleazy Street with Jen, but I'm not associated with AB Sleaze. We're two different, two different entities. But, you know, he's got his tab. He's there first thing, 10 o'clock in the morning. He's got his tab with the liquor store and he hadn't paid it. So he's MIA, totally MIA. So I have no idea what's going on with Clowney. No idea. None whatsoever. Now the other people that might there's a guy named Hypertech and he might know something. I just interviewed him last week. He's a DJ out in LA. He also writes music. Um, he's kind of in that reggaeton stuff, you know, a little perverted stuff. Uh, but yeah, he kind of defends me when it comes to the clowny stuff every now and then. So if you need any more witnesses, Hypertech might be willing to come up too. So although you know he came on Hypertech came onto my live, first thing he has to show is his nose hair. He belched, he farted, you know, all the good stuff that makes live content worth viewing. So yeah. Camilla, I think we have so many leftovers. I just, the turkey that we had left over, I just I seasoned it with Mexican seasonings, chili, garlic, onion, cumin, and I kind of cooked it until in a little bit of water until that cooked down. And how does Charlie keep a straight face? Charlie's been in jail. Like, he just got bailed out. I offered to bail him out, but, I don't know. I forget who paid Charlie's bail. But yeah, so the turkey I've got kind of shredded. So I'm going to freeze that for like tacos, burritos, that type of thing. Tostadas, whatever we decide to eat with that. And then the bone, skin, and the rest of the meat I put in a pot. I'm going to do, probably make a quick vegetable soup tonight. We'll eat late. And then I'm going to do probably reserve some of it so I can make like a tetrazzini or something like that. So, who are you talking about? Charlie? I mean, Charlie's could get a life sentence for his stuff. So, I mean, and Clowney was screwing Trixie. It was Clowney's girl, or it was Charlie's girl for a while. But she popped up. Who is she? I mean, she's a wild child. Let me tell you, that girl is wild. And Karen, who was running for president, man, she was taking it in the rear. Like, who did her? I think Charlie Wood did her. Then, it wasn't green hair girl. What? I forget the other girl's name. Oh my gosh. Well, she's got like these weird, like, tubes sticking out of her head, and she was like, doing Karen with those little tubes. Karen was just taking it. I mean, it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. That was on Charlie's channel too, and it was all live for everybody to see. Karen has she has no discretion at all. Like, she was doing it in public, and she just backed her little rear end back there, and yeah. And then Satan popped in for a bit, and then I don't know, when Satan popped in, I think the party kind of like took a downward turn. I don't know why, because everybody loves Satan. Bimbo loves Satan. Satan was Bimbo's favorite, so I don't know. But, Satan's been out of commission for a while. So Satan's mom's not doing too well. So all of our thoughts and prayers are with her and with him as a caregiver. So, but yeah, Satan popped in. It took a turn for the worse. And, I mean, it got real bad when Satan came in. I think that's when, Karen was getting done by that other character. I forget their name all the time. And then Charlie was in and out. Oh, and then the PO officer came by to check on Charlie. And what did they have? And then Karen started doing it with a bottle of water. That was crazy. And then the little thing with the things that was doing Karen, she had it all. She had the cane, she had the smoke, she had the GHB, MDA, Run DMC, she had it all. And then when the PO came by, everybody freaked out, and everybody was trying to like do lines and get rid of the evidence and everything. And it was a madness the other night over there. Absolute madness. So, yeah, go check out Charlie Wood. Charlie Wood lives, Lives, or lives, one of the two. Anyway, and these characters are just, I mean, you think people on YouTube are bad? You see some of those people involved in this Charlie Wood case? Yeah. Talk about the true crime community is nothing compared to what's going on over here. I mean, there's crime left and right and in and out and ugh. I can't unsee what I saw the other night. And I'll just say Karen's a hoe. Because she is. Karen's a hoe. It's no wonder she didn't win her presidency. And she didn't even have a platform. Unless that was her platform. You know, because there's that video of Clowney doing her too. She backed right up into Clowney. It was Clowney, you know. Crazy. No discretion. No discretion. So anyway, what have I been? 3:30. 3 hours, 30 minutes. Anyway, sorry, Camilla. I know. I hope I didn't offend you. So, but these people, you know how YouTube get. I don't like getting involved in that drama, but yeah. Clowney's a different story. I make an exception there because he's rotten. He's rotten. I mean, stealing panties. Nobody should have their panties stolen. Like, that's such a personal thing. Like, we got to stand up for our rights. And, you know, the panty recovery service I do for free. So, if anybody, you know, suspects Clowney of stealing your panties, I know he's gone underground, but, you know, I might be able to, you know, lure him out somehow. So, we'll see. We'll see. But it's a crazy life being in the panty recovery business. But it's the least I can do. It's the least I can do for society. I think society deserves it. And, you know, I'll feel like I've done my part. And it gives me a purpose. So, it's a kind of important fight for me, in a sense, you know. So, anyway, hope y'all have a good one. I hope y'all have a good weekend. Hunter, you going live later? If you're going live later and I'm not doing anything and I'm done with the food stuff, I might come up and join you. I don't know. If you want to hang out a bit. So I know your topics are generally a little different than mine. Certainly doesn't involve, you know, people doing it live on YouTube and sex, drugs, and rock and roll and all that stuff. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. You know, we all like that college channel when you play that. That's always good music. Good stuff there. Good stuff. We love it. We love it. You know what? I think I'm going to put just a dab of that turkey juice in here to make sure it's moist. Moist, moist, moist. So, yeah, and then I'm going to get my soup going. I got to, like, pull all the bones and skin out now. Oh, Hunter, don't cry. Don't cry. I'll be all right. It'll be all right. My precious. My precious. Hey, I messed up my elbow, so I'm still gimping along with my bad elbow, which is why I was working for hours on end yesterday on my YouTube stuff, because I can't do much of anything else. I could do one-handed cooking, kind of, but I can't pull a drawer open without my whole arm killing me. Can't pick anything up. I'm just kind of getting by here. All right, I added some stuff to my stuff. So, all right, we're gonna call it a day. Y'all gonna be good. Take it easy. Don't drink and drive. Be wise. Be cool. Stay home if you're gonna do that. Stay home if you're gonna do that. We're gonna have some do some more stuff with these leftover turkeys. Look at how nicely all that shredded. It's gonna be so good for burritos and stuff. Nicely seasoned turkey. No flaming turkey wings. So, and I don't have a dry oven right now, so I'm kind of limited on what I can do. Isn't that great for somebody who does cooking on their channel? Can't even freaking use their oven. So I'll get that eventually. I'll get it eventually. But I gotta take all this stuff out. I gotta get this turkey drained. Is that gonna be enough? Do we think? Do we think? Should you stay here for the pouring of the turkey? That's how I do that. I got a bowl underneath. I got a colander on top. And then Chris is coming to help me because he knows this. I'm trying to do most of it with the one hand.
Let's see.
Slowly. Slowly. I'm getting some overboard. Slowly.
Just a little bit there, and keep it from all flopping in there.
Well, that's why the oops. That's why the colander is there. Let it roll.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you. There you go.
Awesome.
So now I've got to pick through skin and bone to get the meat. Ooh, that was perfect. That's my residual turkey. There's going to be a good bit here. So, yeah. Let's put this on here and let it continue to drain. And then once this cools to the touch, then I can go in and start cleaning that. But that's a messy job. You don't want to see me doing that. And then, yeah, I'll reserve some of this meat for another dish. Maybe a pot pie. Because I have that turkey broth. So, that other turkey broth from the summer that I made. So I can make like a turkey pot pie. And those I just do, make my gravy, put my meat in there. I put a canted veg on, and then I just put one pie crust on top of the pie. Instead of doing a double layer. Because that's less carbs, less fat, less blah, 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 all that stuff. So that's kind of how I do that. I think I have a video on how I make a pot pie. And I just buy store-bought crust because I suck at crust. I just do. I don't know why, but I do. I'm not a pastry bread kind of person. I mean, I've made bread. I made hamburger buns. And I love them. Cinnamon rolls, stuff like that. I'm just not a baker. Push come to shove, I'll do it, but not my thing. I like savory stuff better than sweet stuff. Unless we're talking about Hunter, then, you know, I'll take his sweetness all day long. So, all right, y'all. Take care. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Love yourself. Take it easy. And know that you're loved. I appreciate y'all watching. And I'll see you later. And now I got to figure out how to end this. So, oh, I can start a poll. Yeah, I'm live, but oh, I think I just hit the X here. So I need to do YouTube more. So I think I get more engagement than Restream. Anyway, love y'all. Take care. Bye.